Welcome to the fallout, survivors of the game. The old regime is crumbling, it's never been the same. Four corners of the circle, four voices in the dark, to light the torch of wrestling and find the missing spark. Ryan standing in the wreckage of a Friday night disaster, with Roman as the tribal chief, no one is his master. Carmelo Hayes is shooting, now the sky is where he'll go. With Julia and Io Sky, they're running the whole show. They're cutting through the static of the kings who lost the crown, setting up the barricade to tear the temple down. It's the rebuild, taking back the night, working through the struggle just to get the product right. WrestleCast is calling, yeah, the signal's staying strong, fixing everything that Triple H has managed to do wrong. Yeah, we're rebuilding, one brick at a time, climbing up the mountain just to reach the finish line. Nate is stirring up the pot with Monday Night Malarkey, bringing Penta Zero Fear to end the oligarchy. CM Punk is on the mic, he's speaking nothing but the truth, while Saul Ruka hits the waves and Charlotte shows her royal youth. There's a revolution brewing on the screen and in the ring, breaking every promise made by the so-called billionaire king. It's the rebuild, taking back the night, working through the struggle just to get the product right. WrestleCast is calling, yeah, the signal's staying strong, fixing everything that Triple H has managed to do wrong. Yeah, we're rebuilding, one brick at a time, climbing up the mountain just to reach the finish line. Sneaky's bringing guns and shots to midweek media star, with Brock and Rhea Ripley, they are looking for some more. Deathmatch Dawkins bleeding out for the love of the heavy gold, while Cal's on Shotgun Saturday breaking every mold. Money Monsters Ford is flying, Owens fighting to the end. Asuka and Jada Parker, they're the ones we must defend. It's the rebuild, taking back the night, working through the struggle just to get the product right. WrestleCast is calling, yeah, the signal's staying strong, fixing everything that Triple H has managed to do wrong. Yeah, we're rebuilding, one brick at a time, climbing up the mountain just to reach the finish line. Ryan and Nate seeking Kyle, the legacy is saved, taking back the power from the man inside the save. The rebuild is here, the podcast never dies, looking to the future through the WrestleCast eyes. Turn the volume up, let the new era rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome as we come to the conclusion of our WWE Rebuild episode here on WrestleCast Radio. It is episode 12. We've finally come to WrestleMania, and we're here to deliver the goods on how to make a real wrestling super show. I believe we have a lot of fun here. We got a lot of interesting things that the company has tried to do, and we're going to do it better, I think. And when I say tried to do, circa Joe Hendry, Randy Orton was probably the closest they came. But we got some dual brand shit that's going to rock. We got some big time world title matches to bookend our shows that are probably the main feuds that we have going for a lot of us. Kind of just the payoff on everything. And these are gonna be bigger shows. I mean, we have a lot of matches that we're doing on here, so bear with us here on the length. I understand we should trim stuff down, and not everyone deserves to be on the card, but at the same time, we're not doing the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, so that's not a thing. At least I'm not, unless one of them are. I don't want to spoil it if they did. But in general, we're not doing like a branded Battle Royal to just fill people in. And once again, after the amount of 4-match pay-per-views. Well, damn it, we deserve to give you the value for the amount of money that TKO charges for these tickets. So we're going to make it worth your while. We are coming to you from the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana, where it was supposed to be this year, before they went to Vegas a second time. And if I remember right, WWE fans were all all laughing that AEW had a lower tickets when they went to Wembley 2 years in a row for All In. Yet I don't hear any of them crying anymore when WWE's at like half capacity compared to last year, which is way worse than the Wembley thing. So I digress there. There's my angry, bitter rant that I'll save for a later date because I want to keep the positivity going. Real quick, we run through Mondays. Nate, how do you feel about the year? How do you feel your brand went?
So overall, I enjoyed the experience. I feel like there was a few holes in my storytelling, but overall, after getting to WrestleMania, I'm happy with it. So yeah,
obviously,
I think everything worked out.
We got the Wednesday, the midweek, if you will. Zeke, how you feeling about the show for the year? How do you're rebuilding the E, if you will?
Yeah, I know. I think hitting the highs pretty good, but there's definitely was some room to grow, and some of the roster just didn't get to shine like they probably should have, or building feuds or angles with them. A lot of people have ended up kind of getting a little lost in the mix.
That's where I was at too, so I get it.
I think I can say for Fridays, I nailed the big picture thing I wanted to do, like my main event feud. I feel like delivered enough, which we'll find out why, obviously, when we go through the shows, why I felt it delivered enough. But I think the thing that saved it for me, too, was I was getting a little stale with the wrestlers just because I have no investment in a lot of them. And starting to just call things on the fly the last few pay-per-views without planning and just winging it. I would have never had the Bullet Club. I would have never had this babyface supergroup. So I'm glad I took the approach that I started taking to the drafts, where I don't write anything until I'm done, and it tends to end up being better. So I think that's helped a little bit. But I can definitely tell that my enthusiasm, where the first day I wrote like 10 months of TV and you know, all that stuff, went out the door when I started losing a lot of care for some of these people. And I don't mean that as like to shit on the people, but like it's so hard to get behind a lot of these acts because of how they are on TV. But I feel like the ones that I wanted to really resuscitate and bring back, like Devlin and Bartel and stuff like that, Dunn and Bate and Carmelo Hayes, who just lost, and stuff like that, to really build that up, which I think helped in that aspect. So I'm pretty happy, I think, in the long run with it, and I think we got a lot of fun stuff. I mean, both your guys' show, Kyle's show, had a lot of interesting things too that I didn't expect. So I think that part, I think I had more fun listening to you guys sometimes too. But Kyle, what do you say? Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
I knew you were going to segment to me because, you know, I'm just good, you know. But I want to say that we talk about interesting, like from someone who's not really a wrestling fan, as Isaiah, like his show makes me want to like tune in every week to see what the fuck's going on. And that took me as a surprise, because I didn't think that for someone who, you know, doesn't really know much about wrestling, has like the creativity to like keep someone who has been watching a lot of wrestling, like to keep their curiosity at peak. So I think that's the like defining like moment about this whole series is what Z can do with his creative mindset, which I thought was fantastic. Big meat, though.
Same.
It has helped getting your guys' feedback and pop on certain things. Like, oh, okay. I thought nothing of this one, but we got to dive in now.
I do want to say that I think Zeke knows a little more about wrestling than people think, because
Yeah.
he's seen a lot of. I mean, you figure you've been to like 3 big AEW shows now in the last like year, 2 or 3 of them, right?
2 shows in the last year for AEW.
So I mean that
I think I've only been to the 2 AEW ones, and then
it might have
the
been
New
it.
Japan, all the Tokyo shows.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty. So I've liked that. I think I agree. Like I say, to an extent though, with it. Like I do, he's got something going in that mind, but I think the creativity was the blow off point for me that I liked. But to the actual question though, Kyle, Saturdays, Shotgun Saturdays. What about your brand, your show? Like same thing I asked them. How do you come out of your 12 months rebuilding a company that needed to be fixed?
I felt like I did a good job with Montez Ford.
Yeah.
And I felt like I utilized Kevin Owens pretty well to be the anti, I guess, hero, in all of this. Now, I did create the Nation of Domination 2.0, but I made, like, Out the Mud also, like, I wouldn't say viable, but I mean, they got a couple wins over the Usos. Their name is getting up there, right?
Mm-hmm. You push new stars, which we were complaining about, is what, in fairness.
Yeah. And so I think overall, though, the overall experience, it was fun writing the shows, and it was fun being able to take something and recycle it into something new, I guess. Kind of like the Chris Jericho effect, right? Mm-hmm. So that was my biggest enjoyment out of all of that but I do, on the same sentence, regret not hitting the free agency more or making more trades or trying to keep things interesting, because that would fight a lot of fatigue, or not, like staleness, right? Like I think the number one thing we all had was we lost interest in our talent because we didn't know where to put them, and the only thing that we saw viable was the same people that we were booking week in and week out. And we didn't really know how to rewrite these people. So I think if we didn't know how to rewrite them, then we trade them off, and then everybody else did a really good job at taking what they got in the trade and making something out of it.
Yeah, I think that's why I tried to stay so active talking to you guys. Like, hey, you want to do something together? Hey, you want to trade? Hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? Because I think Kyle or Nate did a great job with Zelina Vega. I think that trade worked great. You push Zelina, Jade Cargill's going into Mania as my champ.
And what's funny is you mentioned that, and I wanted her, during the initial draft, it was my idea to take her, and then I realized that I ran out of slots and I couldn't. So then when I was able to get her, it didn't take me long to figure out what to do with her. But what I figured out was not what I was originally going to do, which is always the nice thing.
Me and Kyle, we traded Austin Theory, I think it was, for Obafemi or something. I took Obafemi, put him into a new title, and instead gave him a champion, and you built a whole TV titling around it. So it worked pretty well doing things like that, And me and Zeke, we had the thing with Brock Lesnar where he left and quit, and then came and won my title, and then got fucked over, and then went back and got pissed at Gunther and went back for his title. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of fun with that. That I think went really, really good, and I think was kind of what we were saying. We want to fix things. I can tell you one thing. There was a guy that I had that until I did the heel turn, I really didn't know what to do with them, but I knew I needed to do something better, and that was Ricky Saint or Ricky Saints or Ricky Starks or whatever. When I turned him heel with Roman, I feel like he's become the biggest heel on the show. I mean, the way he won the Rumble with over Carmelo, he's a snake piece of shit, and it's what a perfect guy to do that. And, you know, like he fell off the rope on NXT and Booker T was like losing his mind. And he's so good at trying to cover that up when he fucked up to cover the botch. Immediately, I'm going, that's exactly what I'm doing. What I'm doing with him is because he's so good at being the chicken shit heel when he needs to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, just utilize these people in their strengths. You know, Montez Ford getting a push. Like, it just... So I think we definitely have some strong positives that we definitely can take out of this. But once again, it's just... I think it's just... It falls on the fact that some of it is just boring because of the way that they do this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And to add to that, it's like if we already we're watching some of this stuff and we already don't care, and then we do something like this, it's like, okay, we take this person, and I'm not going to name any names, but like you take somebody on the roster and you try to figure out what to do differently with them, and you really don't know what to do because of the way they present it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you can, unless you have a concrete idea that you want to execute, you really have no idea, you know?
Yeah, I think
like, I'll tell you this, when we did the draft, it's like I knew kind of who I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the rest of the roster that I got, like I got them, and it's like I didn't know what to do with half of it.
Yeah.
And I think that was a lot of our difficulties,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Like, I look at Dunn, Bate, Bartel, and Gable. Immediately, I was like, first thing I'm doing is taking these masks off.
Yeah.
Just letting them be themselves. You know, just, it's simple things like that. But we are here with WrestleMania. I just want to do a quick little recap with y'all, because I don't think there's enough to do a full recap show like I had talked about. So thought just a little chat skis would be fun, and we got the post-match stuff too if needed. But this is WrestleMania, as we said, from the Superdome in Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. And it's When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin, because it's going to cause a second Katrina, as Zeke stated, by the wetness of the fans.
Gonna get moist up in here.
You're gonna be sweating your ass off. And we are gonna get it going with Zeke's World Heavyweight Championship to kick things off. My guy Zeke, the floor is yours for WrestleMania. WrestleMania.
All right, we're starting this thing
Chattanooga.
off with the bigs here. We got Brock Lesnar and Gunther. They're settling their feud here. Got Lesnar, the title holder, against Gunther. It's another slugfest. Brock's chest is purple and red. Gunther isn't much better. Gunther whips, and then Gunther whips. Man, I can't talk. Gunther whips Brock into the corner and runs after drop kicking Brock. Brock drops her knee, rolls out. Gunther climbs the ropes and goes for a crossbody on Brock. Giving no time to recover, both men land hard. Gunther stands first, starts to pick up Brock to set up the powerbomb symphony. Brock dead weights him, then counters, clipping Gunther over his back. Brock throws Gunther back into the ring, drags Gunther to the center of the ring. Sets him up, hits him with sits him up, hits him with an elbow to the head, and runs to the rope for added momentum before landing a vicious knee to the chest.
Oh.
Brock smirks as he walks the ring, sizing up a broken Gunther. He picks him up for the F5, holding him on his shoulders to show the whole stadium, kind of still walking around. This gives Gunther enough time to counter with a few elbows. Brock drops Gunther. Gunther grabs Brock by the waist for a belly-to-back suplex. Stands up, gives Brock a few stomps before picking him up for the powerbomb symphony. He doesn't stop at 3. He goes for 4, then 5, then 6. No strength left. He goes for the pin and the win to gain his title back. And then after the match, Gunther extends a hand, helps Brock back up. They shake hands and exit the ring.
Oh, there you go, Kyle.
Yeah, big meat, baby.
I was imagining in my head, I was like, how tight would it be if Brock F5 Gunther, but Gunther lands on his feet behind him in the choke? I was like,
That's
man,
cool.
I was listening because I was sitting there listening to Zeke, and I'm like, fuck, what else could they do? This is great. I was all into that 6 power bombs. You're done, kid. Done skis. Hell yeah. Gunther coming back on top, getting the title back. Winning the match, your opener. And that's how you do it, people. You give them Brock Gunther, everybody's happy. Even Kyle, because they shook hands.
Yeah.
Coming up
Now run the
second.
tables.
Coming up on our second match, we go to the Malarkey with Nate.
So we've got AJ Lee taking on Chelsea Green, taking on Zelina Vega. It says two women who were showcased throughout the year find themselves in a match with Monday Night Malarkey's newest signing in Zelina Vega. The match is pretty one-sided as Zelina Vega has the advantage over both of them. Chelsea and AJ pair off and beat the hell out of each other before going back at Zelina. AJ Lee hits her finisher on Zelina for a near fall, but is broken up by Chelsea, who begins screaming. Chelsea hits AJ with her finisher, but it's broken up by Zelina. Zelina then dumps Chelsea out of the ring so that she can focus on AJ Lee. Zelina then hits the code red and picks up the win after pinning AJ Lee. The lights go dark and you see Zelina missed AJ in the face as we head to an ad break.
Oh, no, we got an ad break. Well,
Jesus.
Nate, why don't
Had
you
to throw that in there.
go ahead and
Second
give us
match,
the...
we already have an ad break, so
give-
there you go.
Can you do the ad for us? Because I didn't pencil this in.
Slim Jim.
Isopo.
Bacon beefy.
Yeah, stack or two. Stridex pads.
Oh, God, I remember those days.
And then that creepy guy with the glasses going, what do you think this is? Funko Land? And you're like, ah. All right, well, now that we had that ad
Miss
break
Funko
because we had to prepare everyone for what's about to happen next. Friday Night Disaster coming at you as we have
Oh, shit.
Arena Warfare, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Styles, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Tala Tonga taking on Marcel Bartel, Chad Gable, Brutus, and Julius Creed. This is called Arena Warfare, which we have stolen from AEW, doing Stadium Stampede, if you will, or Anarchy in the Arena, as this match has no rules. They are just going to fight until finally somebody wins. And let me tell you, this is just utter and utter mayhem. We have Marcel Bartel and Styles fighting outside the ring. We have all three Tongans against Gable, Brutus, and Julius Creed fighting throughout the audience. Bartel and Styles are starting to now make their way over the guardrails. They're fighting up into the fan section. We're going into we're in the lobby now. Gable is just German suplex Tama Tonga into one of the nacho stands out in the aisleway. At the same time, Brutus and Julius Creed activate steroid mode as they double gorilla press Tala Tonga through the entire front doors of the building, as he's now motionless as the door only opened about 4 feet, because you know how heavy them bitches are at the venues. Tonga Loa, though, is somehow, and I say somehow because for those of you who remember him in NXT, he was Camacho. And on his way to the ring, he got a bicycle. So somehow Tonga Loa's got a bicycle in the midst of all this. And he is swinging it over his head like Terry Funk would the ladder around his neck, and he is taking out all the baby faces in the concourse. Fans are screaming now because he just keeps spinning and doesn't know where he's going until he shanks the side of the wall with the kickstand, and the bike spins off his head, causing Tonga Loa to fall into the door, and he's hurt by his own doing. Styles now comes off a Pepsi machine with a forearm to Gable right in the face. Bartel picks up Styles now and starts throwing some bombs on him. I'm confused where people are, so bear with me here. I'm calling this on the fly. Bartel and Styles are just beating the piss out of each other. Finally, the Creeds get back up from that bicycle attack, and they're going at it with the Tongans. Gable now takes a table and just runs it as hard as he can the long way into Tala Tonga, who's trying to get back up from being gorilla pressed through those doors. Chad Gable then turns around and looks at the camera, and he says, "Hey, Goldberg, real corn on the cob." Trying to be Jack Perry with the real glass for Nate Newman and his corn on the cob Goldberg line. And they just keep fighting, and now they're all four in the vestibule in the concourse. They're inside the little turn area where you kind of push the door and the wind sucks you in and you kind of spin, like you'd see it like an old like J.C. Penney's or whatever, like in a hotel. Oh. And they're all in each of the four little pods punching each other while spinning in a circle, and they cannot escape while fighting till finally they start falling out from all the air pressure. And now they're just brawling through the parking lot, and this isn't in the arena anymore. And we don't have enough cameras to keep up with this, so we're just going to stop filming it. So we don't know what's going on now. They're just gone. You're just killing each other somewhere. So, needless to say, Arena Warfare, y'all. Bullet Club versus the Babyfaces might be in your backyard right now. So we don't want to leave you hanging here without any action. So we're going to go over to the place that gives a lot of good action, violent action. Kyle over on Shotgun Saturday Nights with our next match.
Oh, yeah. So I know earlier you went on that speech and you mentioned that there's no battle royale, but unfortunately there's a battle royale.
That's okay. And then I said, spoiler alert, I apologize.
But however, this is obviously a violent get 'em on the card battle royale match.
So the violent get 'em on the card match. All right, so I got it written down.
Yeah. Yep. Winner gets a match on Shotgun, the following Shotgun Saturday.
Winner gets a TV match.
Yeah, for whatever belt they choose.
For any title. All right.
Yeah. So, in this match, everyone is already inside, and so it's pinfall only. It's an intergender match as well, by the way. You got Asuka, Naomi, Blake Monroe, Tatum Paxley, and Izzy Dame in the women. And you have Austin Theory, Sean Spears, Ethan Page, Saquon Sugars, Nico Vance, Dante Chin, and Dion Winnick representing the men.
I'm going to mute my mic so you don't hear me angry typing all of that out for you here, Kyle.
Bell rings. Immediate chaos is going on. Everyone's brawling in different corners outside. Asuka's kicking people. Theory rolls out and kind of like goes into the crowd to kind of like hide himself. Dante Chin is in the ring. Sean Spears hits a C4 on Chin with a quick cover. 1, 2, 3. Dante Chin's out through Sean Spears. Naomi hits a rare view on the Izzy Dame, but it doesn't knock her out. She turns around all confused as Asuka kicks her in the face and pins her immediately. 1, 2, 3. She's out. A double team moment from Ethan Page and Sean Spears as they hit their move on Dion Winnick, with Sean Spears getting the pin. 1, 2, 3, eliminating him. Tatum Paxley goes crazy on Blake Monroe. A flurry of offensive moves, but Paxley hits Blake Monroe with a small package, pins her and eliminates her. Saquon Sugars and Nico Vance are going at it. Asuka hits a spinning back fist on Nico Vance, and Naomi on the top rope out of nowhere hits a split-legged moonsault onto Nico Vance, with Naomi getting the victory, eliminating him. Somebody hit Saquon Sugars over the head with a light tube.
Hell yeah.
Ethan Page rolls in and takes the pin, eliminating him. Asuka makes Tatum Paxley tap out with the Asuka lock. Naomi, oh wait, hang on. Oh, Austin Theory does the Razor's Edge to Naomi through a table. Pins her on the outside, 1, 2, 3. The crowd boos, but Naomi's out.
Shut up.
Sean Spears and Ethan Page are arguing for some reason. Austin Theory shoves Spears into Page, hits the A-Town down on the Sean Spears, and pins him. Asuka roundhouse kicks Ethan Page in the face, eliminating him. So now it's Austin Theory and Asuka.
People.
Yeah. Asuka's beating the shit out of Austin Theory with strikes. Tries to hit a couple of submissions, but he gets out of them. The crowd is behind Asuka. She hits into Asuka lock. Austin Theory is fading. He gets enough strength to roll backwards into a pin attempt, but Asuka kicks out at 2. Goes for a kick. Theory ducks, grabs her, and hits the A-Town down, with Austin Theory getting the win in this very extensive battle royal. Austin Theory acts like he won a world title as the crowd's just going crazy. Asuka is in the ring frustrated, but I don't think she lost much from this. Yeah, Austin Theory, he doesn't say what title he's going for. I guess if we continue this, then you'll find out on Saturday.
Right. Austin Theory coming out there, as we said, the anarchy has left the arena. We'll bring that shit back to the ring with 14 more people. In the midst of all that anarchy as well, we come to find that Dunn, Bate, Devlin, Balor, Sabin, and Shelley all somehow got involved in that parking lot, to which security grabbed them and separated them from the other 8, allowing the other 8 to continue fighting, because we have a World Tag Team match that we need to get ready for. So they had to pull them back in and say, stop. You can fight in 5 minutes. With that being said, next match coming up is on Friday night again, as we have the World Tag Team Champions Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate taking on Bullet Club's Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. This is a tag team dream match, if you will. British Strong Style, Motor City Machine Guns. Shelley and Bate start the match, and it's everything you'd want it from these two. We get a tie-up. Bate turns into a headlock. Shelley counters the headlock. Bate moves him into an armbar, back into a hammerlock. Ducks under the right arm, pulls him in with his right arm, turns him and goes back to a headlock. Shelley now counters back, shoots Bate off the rope, shoulder, tackle drop down, goes over. Shelley with the leapfrog, Bate goes under. Shelley rolls to his back, doing the Gringo Loco feet up. Bate gets flipped off the feet, back to his feet. Full flip, lands, comes back off the ropes, goes for a drop kick on that seated Shelley. Shelley ducks it, hits a nip up. Bate with a flip off his head as we get a stare down from the two of them. And we have wrestling finally, after loads of violence. Sabin and Dunn both tag in now. And Sabin comes up to Dunn, hits him with a forearm to the face, and Pete Dunne just starts laughing. He's like, come on, do it again. He throws another shot. Then finally, Pete Dunne smashes Sabin with a huge forearm and sends him down to one knee. He looks back at it, smirks, hit the rope. Sabin comes off with the X Division kick, spinning Soulbot kick to the midsection, up kick to the chest, and then it ends the gear into the back of Dunn's head, who stumbles under the rope. Sabin shoots off the other side, comes with a huge running forearm to the side of the head, and this time he's got Dunne staggered a little bit. He goes over and he tags in Shelley, who comes in, and they hit that dream sequence, inverted atomic drop with that drop kick coming off of it. And the challengers are hyping the crowd up, getting booed like crazy because we don't like the Bullet Club around here. We get more back and forth, good tag team sequences, everything we've asked for. Shelley and Sabin managed to hit a Made in Detroit on Pete Dunne while they're working the heat. They get a 2 count. Bate trying to get back in, but he keeps getting cut off by the referee. Finally, Dunne makes a hot tag, gets Bate back in. He's cleaning house. Everything's happening the way they wanted to. Bate goes for a Tiger Driver, but Alex Shelley hits an enziguri to the back of his head. Sabin hits a front enziguri. Sabin then grabs him, gets him in a neck breaker, and they go for Skull and Bones, their finisher. They hit it on Tyler Bate. Ref goes down for the 3 count, but at 2, Pete Dunne breaks it up by stomping on Shelley. From there, we see Bate now finally starting to fire back. Sabin is shit-canned by Dunne. Bate rolls through on Shelley and gets him in a crossface. Shelley's using his hands to pull himself closer to the rope to try to get to it, and as he's pulling himself, he gets stopped as his hand hits the boot of Pete Dunne. Dunne picks him up and he snaps Shelley's fingers. Shelley is screaming at this point. Sabin comes running back in, goes for a lariat. Dunne ducks it, hits him with a huge right hand, kicks him in the midsection. Bate picks up Shelley, and they hit dueling Tiger Driver double Tyler Driver 97s for a 1, 2, 3 count, and the babyfaces retain the tag titles in a stellar tag match.
You know, like I always get surprised. Like even me, like I've had people go through light tubes and Zeke's had like box cutters being used, but every time I hear it live, I'm just like, oh my God, there's no way WWE would allow that on program. Double Tiger Drivers,
double Tyler Driver. So it's like a Liger bomb, but with the double underhook. Not on their heads. But just as a basic pin, yeah. We could call it Tiger Drivers, too. I mean, look, I probably said Tiger Driver because I was just pulling that all on the fly like I said I'm doing. And to me, Tiger Drivers are way tighter.
Just 2 people risking neck injuries for the sake of the fans. Like, I'm all for it.
Look, it's WrestleMania. Fuck the Tyler Driver. It's 2 dueling Tiger Drivers. And then Dunne looks at Sabin and he goes, I told you hit like a bitch. And then they walk out of the ring. As the baby faces are now 1-0 on the Bullet Club. Because the other match is, I guess, still happening, or it's a no contest or whatever, because they're gone. That's okay. We get back to the real action. Great tag match there from the World Tag Team Champions and the Machine Guns, which takes us over to the Malarkey on the Mondays with Nate Newman.
So my next offering is Trick Williams taking on Ilya Dragunov. And it says 2 of Monday Night Malarkey's stars that throughout the year were featured but didn't have much happening for either man are set to go one-on-one. The match is very back and forth. Ilya hits Trick with a bunch of stiff offense, and surprisingly, Trick is able to keep up with it. Trick comes back at points with his own offensive flurries, but eventually Ilya's onslaught is too much for Trick to have to overcome. And Ilya Dragunov picks up the win picks up the win in impressive fashion, if I can read my own writing.
You gotta type it out.
Well, I did, but I just can't read it back to you guys.
He's like, it's a bigger problem than my handwriting.
If I handwrite this shit, I'm not gonna be able to read it. So that's.
I hear that. I write about as good as I sleep. So, you know how that goes.
Although my coworkers at my job tell me I write like a female. So I don't know what that means.
Because you probably got that pristine-ass writing.
If I'm writing for myself and nobody has to read it but me, then it's going to look like shit.
Dragunov, you said Dragunov got the Dubsky? That's what I wrote.
Yes, sir.
So, Dragunov coming out there. Next up, we go back to Fridays. Another one-on-one match. Io Sky taking on Roxanne Perez. This was a nice, clean, competitive match, about 6 minutes. Just kind of something to get in there and kind of bring the crowd back down if need be. Roxanne Perez almost gets the victory early on with an early pop rocks on a counter to one of Io's moves. She then goes for a second one. Io stands up, causing Roxanne to fall off her back. Io does a 180. She grabs her on the waist, deadlifts her into a snap German with a bridge for a 2 count. Roxanne gets back up, but the minute she sticks her head up, Io comes running off with a big-ass V-trigger style knee to the face of Roxanne Perez, almost knocking her unconscious. She then realizes what she did, and she, as she moves her to get ready for the over the moonsault for the finish, you can see her say, "Sorry, Roxanne, I thought it was Stardom." And then she goes up and hits a moonsault to get the victory. And then apologizes once again that she threw that knee out that she doesn't do anymore. So that's the end of Roxanne Perez. She was smoked, and Io is your victor. Thank you. And real quick, we'll go right back to you, Nate. What do you got for that third contest of the evening?
Triple threat action. We've got a hoss fight as JC Mateo takes on Bronson Reed and Jasper Troy.
Jasper Troy, dog. I wrote Jasper.
It literally says, because I wrote this.
Oh, yeah, man.
In a 3-way hoss fight, Bronson and JC team up right away to take out the rookie. Eventually, Jasper gets some offensive maneuvers in and comes back with a vengeance. The match is evenly matched, but Jasper is the one who is getting singled out and being double-teamed often. Eventually, Jasper survives all of the offense thrown at him and hits a black hole slam after muscling up Bronson enough to hit it. The referee counts the 3 count before JC can fly in and break the pin up, just as he's about a hair too late, is what it says. So Jasper gets the win. So you got a rookie beating the 2 veterans and outsmarting the both of them via separation tactics, because you got to do that in a triple threat match.
Hell yeah, man. Black snow with a black hole.
Yeah, man.
I think it's a happy coincidence that he didn't do it to JC Mateo and you had Bronson Reed break up the pin, because that's how he tore his tricep.
Oh, God.
Breaking up a pin. Can't make that up, folks.
Too soon.
Did he really?
Yeah, he tried to break up a pin and he tore his tricep. I was like, what? How did you do that?
Oh, well, I mean, didn't Buddy break his leg off arm drag? Enzo.
Oh, well, yeah, that guy doesn't even know how to run the ropes, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting better now, though.
Did you see that video he posted where he's like, I'm going to show you how easy wrestling is? And he's calling a match to this guy, and while he's cutting a promo, he's like, "Yo, you gotta do what this is. You gotta cover it. Get up, get up, get up." And the guy gets up, and he's like, "Cause I'm gonna show you what it's like. Kick me in the stomach." And then I was like, "Shut up, Enzo Amore."
Why do even shittiest wrestlers make videos like that? I don't understand.
God damn it! You learn how to call something at practice earlier in the day, and now you're gonna try to make a video about it. Just stop. As that one vaudevillain guy that does the blood sport said, I asked him if he knew what a out and under spot was. He was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, for sure, I can take it." So then when I threw him out of the ring, he clotheslined himself on the bottom rope and got a concussion.
Yeah.
I thought he knew what it was. He said,
I thought I won the fight.
Well, let's hope you win the fight.
I punch more, I win.
Here's the difference. Floyd Mayweather didn't do nothing. But Kyle is going to give us our 9th match of the contest from Shotgun Saturday Night.
Hey.
So he did something.
Poppy, he do nothing. Poppy. All right, so this one I don't. Do I? Oh, hold on. I need you to check Messenger quick because I think.
It's struggling.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to because I wrote this match, but this is the match.
Oh,
Do know what I'm
I have mine slotted as just a normal match on my show.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay.
If it's what I think
Thank you.
you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So
And now if this means you're the first of the four doing it. So
Yeah.
give a little oomph back like with what's happening here too, so everyone knows why this is happening.
Okay. So we here decided to have each of us, the four of us here, are gonna have I guess what we would call a forbidden door match, where each of us was given a talent, and we had to find a way to insert them into a WrestleMania moment, a la Joe Henry. So,
Ick, that's
Yeah.
a terrible example.
Yeah, but that's the example I gave in the opening. Thank you for Kyle for following up. I'm glad you had the first match. Because that would have been missed by Nate then.
It's Joe Hendry. Who gives a shit?
No,
That's
but
my point.
my point was that was the concept, was like Joe Hendry and
I
Randy Orton.
know.
You were looking at your list probably and you missed it. I understand.
Shut up.
Super card.
Nate, were you playing
I got
Supercard?
card and you don't, so fuck off.
Were you playing Supercard, Nate?
No.
I'll
I
wait a
haven't
couple
been playing
seconds and all of a
Supercard
sudden
since we hit air.
there'll be a huge, gigantic fart.
Yeah, that.
All right, so you're farting. I'm sorry. That's a real problem. I love farting.
I haven't farted all day. I think there might be something wrong with me.
Man.
So, the crowd is just kind of chilling after the last match.
yeah.
The lights go pitch black. All of a sudden, in the middle of the ring
The
is
Undertaker.
a lantern. Ryan knows. And you hear someone laughing, and all of a sudden some boots come into frame, and it's Uncle Howdy. Takes a seat in his rocking chair that now all of a sudden comes into frame, and he's just laughing and rocking. All of a sudden,
I just-
country rock, huh?
I was going to say, I just sent you something real quick. I apologize
Hold on.
for exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
I got your back.
Okay.
That's how hyped I am right now. I got your motherfucking back, baby.
All right, thank you. So, wanted, fucking dead or alive. just
Hell
passed
yeah. Whoa, Dion.
And fucking Manders just comes.
Yeah,
storming out
baby.
the
One
back.
called fucking Manders.
Hell yeah.
Somebody's going to die.
The crowd just has no idea what to expect.
Idiots.
The few people are marking out because they already know what they're about to see.
Zeke, those people are doing what I did when Daisuke Sasaki came out at Dynamite. When everyone's just sitting there and I'm doing the Petey Pablo with my shirt going, holy fucking shit, it's Daisuke Sasaki! And everyone's like,
Why
what
is
is
he
this?
here? Why is Daisuke here?
Yeah, everyone's just looking at me like, what the fuck?
Who's this guy?
Alex is like,
Where
what the
are we?"
fuck? That's what them 8 people are doing. That one, I'm in the back going, it's fucking Manders. I'm with you.
So then,
Oh, I'm
fucking
sweating.
Manders just slides right into the ring and clotheslines fucking Uncle Howdy straight out of his rocking chair. He grabs the rocking chair, slams it on the outside of the ring. The ref rings the bell. Manders still in his fucking jacket. Clotheslines fucking Uncle Howdy in the corner. He says something to the ref as fucking Uncle Howdy's holding his jaw. Manders throws the horns up.
I'm doing it right now, brother.
Hell yeah. He shoots off the ropes, kisses his bicep, and gives him one more fucking lariat, knocking Manders or Uncle Howdy out clean.
Yeah.
Manders just puts his boot on fucking Uncle Howdy. The ref counts to 3. And that's the match.
I've been everywhere.
He comes out, checks in on Uncle Howdy. Commentary says that they'll let us know more as Uncle Howdy is being carried out on the stretcher.
I've been everywhere.
He's being taken to a local medical facility.
Oh man, yeah! I just want everyone to know that I was like shaking my gaming chair this whole time because I'm like, I finally, we get Manders time. Whew, I love Manders. I'm sorry, he's so tight. And and then he throws the bitch over the rope and just breaks it. I love it. Hell yes. Look, I can tell you I love Manders. Then when I found out Kyle loves Manders, I was like, God bless America. Me and Kyle are like at the hip when it comes to wrestling. And then we just went on this like 12 game changers spree in like 10 days just watching violence.
Because it just happened at random. I was like, man, I need to see this dude. I think he's go by one called Manders. And Ryan was like, say no more. And then all of a sudden he shows up at a GCW show and he's like, check this shit out. And I was like, you're tight. And then ever since then, if we ever seen him or Ray Jazz on a card, we're watching it no matter what.
By the way, Ray Jazz is booked for Mania's Bloodsport.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's all I'm just saying. Now, mind you, Uncle Howdy is being wheeled to the back on a stretcher right now. We see that low-life piece of shit Ricky Saint standing there clutching his national title going, what happened to him? And Manders walks by and goes, the same thing that's going to fucking happen to you.
Yeah.
As Ricky Saint realizes he's about to go to the ring to face Obafemi for the national championship.
I hope he had the biggest dip of all time in his lip when he said that.
Saint is shaking in his boots as he gets bumped in the back by a shoulder block. And I literally bumped myself forward into my computer almost, so I'm way too into this. I apologize. And he turns around and looks, and Oba's already doing his walk, going, I'll see you, Ricky. And Manders walks by, and Oba holds up the horns for Manders as Manders does it back. And then Manders starts doing the Obafemi walk, laughing at Ricky Saint. He's like, you're dead, bitch. So, next contest is coming for Friday is the National Championship on the line. Title time here. Ricky Saint, first man out, or second man out. He's running his mouth. He's turning and looking, and there's no Paul Heyman or Roman Reigns in sight. They have something they're working on for tomorrow. Saint is by himself. He's you know what? He starts hyping himself up. He's like, I'm Stroke Daddy. I'm the best in this business. Da-da-da-da-da. I won the Royal Rumble. He slides in the ring. He hands the title off. The bell rings. He looks at Obafemi, and he goes, you're dead. And he charges Obafemi. Femi throws his ass about 9 feet in the air. Pop-up power bomb. Puts his foot on his chest. 1, 2, 3. We got a new national champion. Obafemi beats Ricky Starks in about 5 seconds.
Damn.
Or Ricky Saint, not Stark. Sorry, I even call him his other name on here. I didn't mean to do that. Femi now proceeds to walk his way to the back as Saint is just laying there throughout the ad break, as we have another advert break, this time for, I don't know, Wengovy or some fat pill or something that they show every 10 minutes that gives you, like, anal bleeding and things like that for taking it.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, an old couple in a bath in, like, a forest. Whatever. That's all. All those ads are like, you could take this and you may get like diarrhea, foaming of the mouth, AIDS, like shit like that. You're like, what the fuck? All for an eyesore? Like, damn, I'm getting AIDS.
That's not worth it.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
There's a chance you may die. But your acne.
There's so many anti-vaxxers around.
But your acne will be a lot better if it doesn't die. So just so you're aware.
If it doesn't kill you, it'll make you stronger.
Yeah. Speaking of stronger, now that Ricky Saint has finally been taken out of the ring, as he's still laying there motionless, Obafemi's your new champion. He's now trying to find Manders in the back for beers. But we are going to move on to the midweek. Zeke's coming at us with his next match on the card. Number 2 for the Zeke.
All right. Our second match here, we got 4-way tag. Had to count real quick, sorry.
Ooh, let me hit mute for this one.
We got the Wonder Twins. We got Nikki Bella and Becky Lynch going again. We got Maxine Dupree and Ariana Grace, and Kendall Gray and Carly Bright. Just trying to find a way to unseat the Wonder Twins, as they seem to be unbeatable. The match turns into a brawl. The ref overwhelmed and just calls everyone legal. Every time the Wonder Twins try to activate their power, someone interferes. In the ring, Becky hits Maxine with the manhandle slam. Carly Bright breaks up the pin with the bright side kick to Becky's jaw. Nikki catches Carly with a stiff spine buster. Liv slides in and hits Nikki with a double knee face breaker. Gray sneaks in behind Liv, rolls her up. Gray from the top rope splashes both of them. Bliss then enters the fray, picks up Gray, hits her with the Twisted Bliss. Liv shit cans Grace into Lynch and Bella, as Bliss gets the pin to retain their title.
Hell yeah, Bliss getting a win.
Yeah.
What is that bright chick's name again?
Right.
Kylie?
Carly.
Carly.
Don't ask me why I know that. Probably just from Supercard, because I have no idea who that
She's not
actually
even
is.
in the game, sir. That's because you DVR NXT. It's okay.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. You told me you do. Don't lie on the
I
air.
used to. I don't anymore.
Nate's so pissed.
Stuff sucks.
I thought you were gonna do Kendall, Gray, Skylar, Ray, and do Gray Ray. Gray Ray.
Gray Ray.
Gray Ray. Don't we do this shit every day?
Right.
Right. I also wrote Morgan, Morgon, Nate.
Morgan.
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 Morgon. But it doesn't matter because the Wonder Twins can't be beat. That's what you've had going the whole time too, Nate.
Yeah.
Or Zeke, excuse me.
Yep.
I say Nate
I think
because
that's
we
my
are.
only one that's went the whole way.
Yeah, I think you've had them going the whole time. I think you're
Yep.
right. That brings us to Nate's 4th match with the Malarkey.
So,
Oh, yeah, man.
After all that crazy shit, we settle the crowd down with LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes.
Oh, my God. Wait a fucking... You just dried up the theme song.
Oh my God.
That's okay. My next match after this one will make up for it. So don't you just wait.
The crowd's going, we want Manders.
Cody's like, shut up! I'm trying to wrestle.
Yeah.
And LA's like,
What do you
yeah.
want? What do you want to talk about? Manders, motherfucker.
So it says Cody Rhodes and LA Knight both have entrances that are fitting for WrestleMania. Their match isn't a letdown either, as LA Knight does a great job getting the crowd into it. Yeah, right, after all that. The two have a hell of a back and forth match, and Cody picks up the win and celebrates as LA Knight makes it to his feet, and the two shake hands as the crowd cheers. Or they're just kind of like moaning because they're like, oh, we just saw that, and then you do this. It's like, come on now.
Meanwhile, they're showing an instant replay of Manders throwing the rocking chair over the ropes, shattering it on the floor.
They wouldn't even. They'd go to the commentary, and the commentary wouldn't even show replays of the match that I just did. They'd show replays of the previous.
They're like, we're gonna go back and
crazy
show you one called Manders here.
Talking about a kill match. Holy
If you're
shit!
just joining in now.
Yeah, we know Cody and LA Knight are in the ring, but this happened.
This is what you missed.
Cody's like, oh, you're trying to fuck on me.
Then he goes in the back and cries.
Kyle, you have your second to last of the evening. go ahead and let us know what's going down here.
All right.
After your first or your last encounter of violence,
Yeah.
we've had the violent get him on the card match. And
Kyle
then
never
alcohol.
disappoints in the violence category.
Shit.
Ricky Kyle over here.
This Mania is way better than what we're gonna get in 3
And
weeks.
this is just day one.
Yeah, we still got another night of this shit.
So second to last, where are we at in the card then?
We are on match 13 of 18.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yep.
What did I do here?
This would have been your second of 3 matches since the other one was the added.
Right. Just trying to figure out what match I put what and where. Okay. This one's the women's television championship.
Oh, okay.
So it is a triple threat. Jordan Grace, who is the current champion, Jada Parker is a challenger, and then over TV, over the last month, Tyra May Steele
Oh, I like that.
inserted herself into the picture
I like that.
and staggered herself away from the currency.
Whoa, I didn't expect that either.
Yeah.
It's with
So in the match, Jordan and Tyra May, they tag team on Jada. And let's see, there's a triple powerbomb spot through a table
Oh, shit.
that they do. Tyra hits brutal running knees on Jordan, along with multiple suplexes. Jada tries to steal multiple pins when Jordan and Tyra May go after each other, but it doesn't work. So Jada, frustrated, goes underneath the ring and tries to grab a spiked heel. Just fucking get her away. Tyra stops her, throws her over with a I forget what that move is, but you know where you grab someone's arm and you throw them over their shoulder and they land on their back like it's a judo move.
throw?
Yeah.
Salt driver.
Hits her with one of those. Picks her back up, German suplexer, gets up into the corner and hits her with a running knee. Knocks her like out of the ring, and then hits Jordan Grace with a knee as well. Hits her with the Olympic slam and then pins her 1, 2, 3, with Tyra May Steele being the new champion.
Oh!
Pinning, Jordan Grace.
Pushing new
Holy
talent.
shit.
Pushing new talent, y'all. It's weird. It's weird when a company does it, but we're trying because they don't do it. We're not giving you Randy Orton in the main event. I'm
Hell
pretty
yeah.
sure they're on. Yeah, no, I can guarantee that. Hell yeah. I like the Tyra May Steele leaving the group that's coveted and snagging a strap. That's what's up.
Yeah, she was playing like spy basically and getting information on Jada Parker, and been studying her and figuring it out and working her. Because what they say, keep your friends close and your enemy closer.
Yep.
So it's basically what she did. Picked her spot at Mania and walked away with the title.
Look, it's the best way to make a statement. Mickey James did it and almost got fired for it. So. That being said, we got Zeke with the midweek for a second to last match of night 1 coming at you, y'all.
All right. This one brings us another tag. We got Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa versus Sami Zayn and Dirty Dom.
Oh,
Solo is the legal man, mauling Dom in the corner with body shots. Sammy jumps in and chop blocks Solo in the knee from behind. Dom immediately follows with a low blow while the ref's dealing with Sammy. Solo collapses. They drag Solo to the corner and hit a double team DDT. Sammy covers. In flies Spot 2 with a diving headbutt onto Sammy's ribs. Sammy rolls out. Dom grabs a chair, tosses it to Solo, and plays dead as the ref is dealing with Spot 2. Zayn on his feet calls the ref. Ref sees Solo, deer in the headlights with the chair in hand. Before the ref can DQ, Spot 2 grabs the chair from Solo, throws it out of the ring. Dom springs up to escape, but Spot 2 with surprising quickness catches him by the hair and launches him into a Samoa drop. Sammy dives in to help Dom, only to receive a double super kick from Solo and Spot 2. He crumples to the ground. Spot 2 sends Solo out of the ring and tags in, so he's the legal man. Dom tries to use this opportunity to crawl out of the ring, but Spot 2 notices and puts a double foot stomp onto the back of Dom, flattening him on the mat. Spot 2 flies up the ropes and hits Dom with a Samoa splash. You hear the ear get knocked out of Dom from the impact. Spot 2 hooks the leg and gets the pin for the win.
Hey, good finish. Samoa! I don't know if you yelled that, but you might have.
Try to add some sound effects in there.
Wow! Man, I just spelt a word.
Then he did the
differently.
pounds.
Man, if Monty Brown was here, holy shit. I mean, he might be. You never know. I mean, we just seen one called Demetrius here. Just Demetrius should use one called Demetrius, and he should tag with one called Manders on an indie show.
Oh, if
We'll
you
get-
do that, I'll drive anywhere he goes to watch this show. You know, Demetrius, he always does shows in like random ass places.
Hell yeah. All right, as we have 4 matches left on night 1. Nate, take it away, sir, with your last match in night 1.
So, as my final offering for night 1, I have CM Punk challenging Penta for the World Heavyweight title in a Hell of War match.
Oh my god, so it's not opening night 2 anymore.
Was it supposed to? Fuck.
Yeah.
Only went over that like 4 times.
Yeah, he also said he didn't want to repeat it in the production meeting. So this will be the 3rd time now. I'll put myself on mute.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna go back to talking to Kyle on Discord. Manders! Manders.
Yeah. Pick a different match, Nate.
Yep, I will.
All right.
So we will go.
All right, we're gonna. I'm just gonna delete all of that off of the recording.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So we're gonna start fresh right here, and we
So
will
that's
go.
Opening. Okay.
Jiminy Christmas. I'm gonna introduce you. Hold up. We're starting over. Okay, here we go. And with that being said, our last offering from each one of us, Nate. We go to you. What do you got on the malarkey for night 1's finale?
So we have. We're going to do Santos Escobar taking on Seth Rollins.
Oh no! Is he
It
got
says-
masked guys running around like dumbasses the whole time?
It says Santos and Seth are no strangers to each other. The two meet on the biggest stage that they can, and they both have one hell of a showing. Santos gets the most of the offense of the match, as it's pretty one-sided throughout. Eventually, Seth hits a desperation stomp, but Santos kicks out. The
Yeah.
match goes on for a bit longer, and Santos hits the Phantom Driver, which Seth kicks out of, but barely. Seth tries to go for another stomp, but this time it's evaded as Santos hits a second Phantom Driver to pick up the win in a hard-fought victory.
Yeah, let's go. I love me some Santos Escobar.
Yeah, he's
Except for that
tight.
AAA Rey de Reyes match where he didn't do anything. He did do nothing.
That match
Yeah, I
was
don't understand
horrible.
that. I don't understand that because he was like out of it. He didn't want to do shit.
I guess he tore his tricep and agreed to do the match or something.
Oh,
Which I
Painful.
guess makes a difference, but like, I don't know. He didn't even like try. At the same
yeah.
time, like he just didn't even do anything. He was just kind of there. Like his legs worked. Why didn't he use those? Oh well. I digress. With that, as we begin to continue the wrap up portion, we are going to move to Fridays as we have our World Women's Championship. Jade Cargill defending against Julia, who had the title up until the Royal Rumble, losing it in a three-way. Jade is dominating early in the match with her power. She's hitting some military presses, some splashes in the corner like Sting. She's throwing some fall-away slams in there. She's doing her taunts. Julia's trying to recover, trying to figure out what's going on. She kind of weathers the storm, and the moment she sees Cargill kind of starting to slow down, she immediately begins to go to her roots and starts just grabbing limbs and twisting and manipulating the joints and showing why she's the best women's wrestler on the planet. Just chopping Jade Cargill down piece by piece out of these things. Jade continues to muscle out of these submissions, but then Julia keeps just chaining these all together. You'd think she just hung out with Zack Sabre Jr., the way she's keeping Jade grounded. Out of nowhere, Jade, though, ducks a clothesline and hits Jaded on her finish.
Jaded.
She can't get over to the pin, gets a 2 count out of it. She then says we got to do one more to get the victory. She picks her up for Jada to get in the air. As she has her in the air, Julia does a couple kicks behind, trying to wiggle her way out, and turns it into a rolling armbar, throwing Jade Cargill forward. Cargill turns, and Gloria meets her immediately with that glorious driver straight on the top of her head. 1, 2, 3. Julia regains the Friday Night Disaster Women's Championship. And after the match, Jade Cargill gets up, doesn't shake her hand, but she rolls out and looks at her and nods in approval and says, "All right, you got me. This isn't the last time you're going to see me, but you're the better woman tonight." Julia then proceeds to celebrate on the ropes, excited as she manages to regain her championship here at WrestleMania. With that, we now move over to Zeke with our semi-main event of the evening.
All right. The midweek wraps up with Logan Paul versus Joe Hendry again. Paul was complaining about the cheap shot and wanting a real match against Hendry to regain his honor, I guess. So Logan, frustrated by Joe's lack of quit and kickouts, Logan calls for a mic as Hendry is lying on the mat. Who wants to see Hendry get embarrassed? Goes in the corner. Okay, we have a winner. Or goes to each corner. Sorry, I misread that. Getting a fan's reaction, trying to see which corner will cry the loudest. Okay, we have a winner. Hendry starting to stand up, but Logan realizes it. Super kicks Hendry. Hendry drops. Logan sets him up, facing the crowd that cheered the loudest. Logan sets up for one lucky punch, mic in hand, taunting, I believe, until Hendry stands up. Crowd starts joining in. As Joe starts to stand, Logan charges, but Hendry was ready, ducks the punch. Falls up with a hard kidney shot to the back of Paul. Paul staggers, but was able to escape. Paul hits the ropes and goes for a crossbody. Hendry catches Logan and hits him with the Freak of Nature fall-away slam. Hendry picks up Logan, gives him a sudden knee to the groin. Not enough to drop him, but you know he's feeling it in the pit of his stomach. Ref didn't see it. This leaves Logan stunned enough for Henry to hit him with the standing ovation and get the pin.
Oh.
He grabs the mic. I too believe in Joe Henry. And now you have lost to me twice. I'm done with you. Drops the mic on Logan and rolls out.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Joe Henry cutting a promo and shit. Saying,
Yep.
bitch, you ain't Joe Henry. Whatever the hell his name is on the show. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
believe in Hendry's.
Henry and Hendry.
Look, that's okay. I said Saints,
flexible.
Saints, and Starks. So. In the same match, too. And I mean, we always know that you know this was one set on the airwaves.
And Tomiaka Akihamna.
So you're okay, bro.
Yeah.
And with that being said, it is time to go to the main event of the evening. And we're going to let that go to Shotgun Saturday Night. So sit back, enjoy. This Kyle's going to give us the main event. Night 1 of WrestleMania.
All right. Inside the ring, the arena goes dark. A spotlight hits the top of the entrance ramp, and on the top of the entrance ramp, it's just a steel chair. But sitting inside of it is Kevin Owens. He's taping up his wrists. His music hits, and the crowd is chanting, "Fight, Owens, fight." No pyro, no nothing. He just comes out ready to fight. He gets into the ring. He's warming up. He's focused. He's locked in. Then all of a sudden, the stadiums go from normal to gold. There's pyro everywhere. Money starts falling. A live choir comes out and starts singing. And Montez Ford comes out from on the platform underneath the stage. There's like backup dancers and shit, smoke and lasers. It's crazy. Like it's a crazy ass entrance, but it just shows the money that Montez has made over the past 9 or so months. So he's flexing. He's flexing. He's confident. He's arrogant. He's ready to go.
Hell yeah.
He gets into the ring. He shows off his championship. They do the little introductions. And the bell rings, and they do Owen's favorite spot, which is the trading punches to each other. To kick things off. Trading strikes and headbutts. Ford's using enziguris and springboard attacks. Owens hits a pop-up power bomb, but Ford kicks out at 2.9. Ford also tries to retaliate from the heavens, but Owens kicks out at 2.9. Owens attempts a stunner, but Ford flips out of the stunner while he drops. Ford hits a super kick and a Meteora combo. Ford gets to the top rope. Owen meets him up top and hits a super avalanche fisherman suplex.
Oh, okay.
Crowd goes to shit crazy. Both are down.
Man.
Owen crawls over, puts an arm on him. 1, 2, and kicks out. Owens has no idea what to do. He gets up in the corner. He starts talking to himself. He finally figures out something, goes over to Ford, picks him up, kicks him in the gut, gives him the finger, tries to hit him with the stunner. Ford counters once again mid-motion, picks up Owens after a failed stunner, turns him around and hits a cutter, gets on the top rope and hits a from the heavens, gets up again from the other corner, hits another from the heavens, and finally pins him. 1, 2, 3, clean in the middle of the ring. Montez Ford retains the World Heavyweight Championship.
Hey.
He sits on the ropes exhausted. Owens finally gets up, shakes his hand, and shows respect as Ford is officially cemented as that guy. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Montez Ford getting the victory. I like it, man. That's a guy that you built. You took from a spot that we have been talking about, like, this dude just doesn't get pushed. And he finally does, and look what happens. He's going to end night one as the World Heavyweight Champion still. That's how we do WrestleMania, bitch. But wait, there's more. We have another night of WrestleMania coming to you.
Before we start night 2, can we take a quick pause?
Yeah, definitely. We will take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to get you a
All
night
right.
2. There ain't going to be a commercial, but we're just going to pause anyway. So with that being said, night 2 is among us. And we are going to bring to you the heat, the war, if you will, and the violence as night 2 is going to kick off with Monday Night Malarkey in their World Heavyweight title. And there's only one man to give it to us, and we know who that is. It is Nate. Nate, bring us your match that we are excited for.
So, the opener of night 2,
Oh, yeah.
taking on, it's CM Punk challenging Penta for the World Heavyweight title in a Hell of War match.
Hell yeah.
Now, this match, borrowed from Lucha Underground. If you don't know what it is or haven't heard of it or seen it, it's a I almost said triple threat. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match. Each fall has a different stipulation. I'm not going to announce the stipulations. I'm just going to read this, so you'll figure it out as I read. But I'm hoping it makes sense because it took a lot of time for me to write this. But it's only like a paragraph long, but it's way longer than what I usually write. So here we go. It says CM Punk and Penta meet in a Hell of War match. A 2 out of 3 falls match where each fall has its own separate stipulation. So I WWE'd that one because I explained it to you guys and then I obviously wrote it. So I guess I didn't have to do the first part. The first match is a regular match that CM Punk wins after a go to sleep.
It's probably fitting you reread it because this is WWE.
Right. And their fans have goldfish brains, and that's how they train them to be. So, well, it's true. They literally will go to a commercial and then come back and show you what happened before the commercial. It's so dumb. But anyway, the two men recover after the first fall and then begin climbing up a platform that is located above the ring.
Oh, shit.
Because the second fall is a scaffold match.
Yeah, Vic Grimes, baby.
Punk appears to be afraid of heights, but manages to hold his own against the champion Penta, who is out for blood. The two throw everything they can at each other, given the limitations of the stipulation, before Penta finally gets the upper hand and throws Penta off of the scaffold like a sack of shit.
Oh,
Jesus.
Punk, writhing in pain after landing hard on the ring, begins to stir as Penta climbs off the scaffold and into the ring as the third fall begins. There's some time in between the second and third fall as panes of glass are set up in the corners of the ring and the ropes are taken off of the ring and replaced with barbed wire. There are now light tubes hanging from the scaffold that was just used that will be part of the fall, as well as we have officially entered the Hell of War stage of this match. At the start, Zelina jumps in the ring and adds on to the onslaught as she begins to pummel Punk, who is on the ground. Penta picks Punk up
and the match takes a bloody turn as Penta throws Punk through a pane of glass. Punk now has glass sticking out of his back as he continues to wrestle, but is wincing in pain throughout everything he does.
Cool.
Punk manages to lift Penta up in a GTS, but doesn't have enough strength to hit the move. He drops Penta, who recovers and hits a Mexican destroyer on the glass shards that are still in the ring and thumbtacks that were added as well. Penta pins Punk, and the referee counts the long, dramatic 2 count. The referee finally hits the mat for 3 as the match is finally over. So I wrote this weird, but obviously he slow counts to 2 and then goes and, you know, you think he's going to kick out, but he doesn't. And the ref hits 3. The match is over. The referee walks the Monday Night Malarkey World Heavyweight Championship over to Penta, I'm sorry, and drapes it over his lifeless body before raising his arm. Penta can barely lift his arm as it quickly drops after being raised because of how dead he is after going through the hell of war.
Hell yeah. Hell of war. That's how we start the show. We definitely need an ad break in between that one. Zeke, you want to give us our next commercial break ad? Can you do one? Just make it up.
We're gonna go with Arby's.
Yeah.
You know, their new box meals.
Let's
Hearty. Meat and 3 sides.
Yeah. That
Hell yeah.
That sounds delicious.
They have the meats. Dum 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 dum.
Yeah, there we go. We have the meat.
Hell yeah. Well, hopefully we got everyone out of the ring there.
Endorsed by Brock Lesnar and Gunther.
Yeah, they're
there we
just they're sitting there smashing like classic roast beefs.
Yeah.
Brock's like, I don't know, I can finish one of these in one bite. Then he gets like the medium-sized one. He's like, whoa, shit. He's like, it's a little bit better. And then he gets the giant one, the 3rd level one, and he's like, no, this is fit for a beast. And then he eats it, and it's like, we have the meat. And then in the background, Gunther chops the guy doing the drive-through, and the paper flies in the air, and his headset flies off.
Hell yeah.
And then something pops up on the screen and it says big meat.
He chops him and he throws like roast beef wrappers in the air. Like in the background as Brock's eating. Great ad, Zeke. We now come back as we get tag action from Friday Night Disaster as we see JC Jane and Fallon Henley making their way to the ring as they take on Nia Jax and Lash Legend. This one goes about as good as you could expect it would go. JC Jane is being bumped around the ring like a pinball. Lash Legend is just running her mouth nonstop. JC tags in Fallon Henley. Tries to get a nice rally going. But Nia gives her the Vader double arm smack to the side of the head as she charges her. And then hits a leg drop on Fallon Henley while Lash Legend's still talking shit for a 3 count. And Nia Jax and Lash Legend decimate JC Jade and Fallon Henley in the kill match to bring the crowd back in from that amazing opener. So they were here to calm it down for you, Nate, after that match.
Good.
Which is also a good thing as we go to midweek. Zeke, what you got for your opener?
All right, for our opener here, we got women's title match. We got Rhea Ripley versus Nikita Lyons.
Fuck.
Both women are battered.
I just sent you a message. Sorry.
Well, we're going to have to roll with that one.
Yeah.
All right, so start over. Both women are battered. Rhea has dominated long stretches, but Lyons keeps firing back with explosive power and surprising even Ripley at times. Ripley hits Lyons with a brutal headbutt, lifts her for the Riptide. Lyons is trying to fight out of the Riptide, but Ripley was able to power through. Last second, Lyons slips out and instantly launches a spinning heel kick right into Ripley's jaw. Dropping to a knee. Ripley drops to a knee. Lyons goes for a second kick. Ripley catches. Sorry, I got a little head up there. Lyons goes for a second kick. Rhea catches her leg and spins into a dragon screw. Ripley lines up another Riptide. Lyons squirms out, but this time Ripley was able to land the Riptide, but not cleanly, as Lyons was able to kick out. Ripley, upset with the slow count, in quotes, gives Lyons time to recover. Ripley stops yelling at the ref and spins for a clothesline. Lyons ducks, counters with a roundhouse to Ripley's ribs, fingering her, and then a spinning heel kick to the head, dropping Ripley. Lyons then sprints up the ropes, follows up the heel kick with a split leg drop for the pin and the win.
Oh!
And we have a new title holder.
Hell yeah.
Luke Gilbert booking, ladies and germs. Let's go. Didn't see that. You know, I kind of thought Rhea was going to bring it back, but shit, I was wrong. Great
That
match.
was the original plan, but as I was writing the show, it got changed.
Nikita Lyons is my second favorite Nikita in wrestling, I think, behind Nikita Koloff. The only reason I said that is I just wanted a reason to bring up Nikita Koloff on the show. So that's all I just
He's badass.
That's all I just said. Russian sickle. Yeah. Even though he's from Robbinsdale, Minnesota, and went to school with Kurt Hennig and Rick Rude, but that's beside the point.
Which is cool.
We then are going to go back for our second time tonight. To you, Nate. What do we got, sir?
So in women's action, we have Kairi Sane mixing it up with Bianca Belair. It says the two look to have the match of the night, as both are excited to be in the spot that they are in.
Hell yeah, that's a perfect way to do it with these two. Sorry.
And although neither find themselves in the title match, they were both in the title picture throughout the course of the year. The two have a great back and forth match. Bianca uses her hair throughout, and at one point chokes Kairi with her own hair as the referee quickly puts a stop to that. No, we can't have that. Kairi comes back and hits a few moonsaults and some high-flying maneuvers. Bianca comes back with a vengeance and an offensive flurry of her own, but Kairi once again takes control and grounds Bianca. She then climbs the top rope and hits the insane elbow on Bianca to secure the win via pinfall.
A hell of a match. Hell of a match.
I've always, I think you guys know this by now. Bianca's one of my favorites, but Kairi is also somebody that I really like. And it's a shame that WWE kind of ruined her, but they ruined everybody. So, and I'm kind of mad at myself that I didn't do more with her throughout the year, but who knows? There might be more to come. Stay tuned.
I will say that after this match here, before we go to our next contest, we are in the back as we see Lash Legend and Nia Jax walking by. And they stop and say, that was some fantastic action, you two as a tag team. There's no tag titles, but it's good to see, a good win. How do you guys feel? And Nia Jax looks and says, we're feeling good. We're feeling ready. Lash Legend's talking smack, saying we're always going to be the best. We want the chance to get back at Julia in that title. And the announcer robot was like, well, Nia, you had a lot of violence in the ring. And Nia cuts her off and says, violence? You want to see violence? Nia Jax hasn't done shit called violent yet, and spikes the microphone right back into her chest as Lash Legend looks and says, "You shouldn't have pissed her off," as the two leave.
He shouldn't have done that.
We now go to Fridays as we have a 9-man TLC match for the World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Siobhan Evans, who reclaimed his title, taking on Kit Wilson, Elton Prince, Charlie Dempsey, Akira Tozawa, Noam Dar, Tavion Heights, former champion Nathan Frazier, and the man who continues to try to come up after his unmasking almost a year ago, A-Kid himself, in this match here. And we got 9 wrestlers, tables, we got ladders, we got chairs, no rules. We know what's going on. This is going to be violent. Wow. I'm excited for this. If this is a real thing. Now, it is a ladder match, and we know how sometimes they can be kind of, but the bell rings, everybody starts going crazy. Frazier immediately hits a running flip dive over the top rope to a couple of the guys who were just hanging on the floor like Pretty Deadly. Siobhan Evans then follows suit onto the crowd with a springboard corkscrew. Akira Tozawa begins to do his ha, 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 and he goes off the top rope with a top rope headbutt. And he's still wearing his American Alpha gear for some reason. And after he hits that headbutt, he throws it into the headband into the crowd as everyone screams in panic. Only to realize, never mind, it wasn't his headband that caused him to bleed last month. So everyone thought there was barbed wire in his headband, but he wasn't smart enough to do that. As we all know, Deathmatch Dawkins did that to him last time. So the crowd, though, was a little freaked out. Pretty Deadly now sneak away from him. They pose on their apron, doing their "yes, boys," until Tavion Heights comes out of nowhere and hits a double German suplex off the apron onto all the people on the floor, the bodies, everything. A-Kid now still in the ring. He grabs that first ladder. The crowd pops. He's here to get this W. He's lost a lot to the point that he lost his identity. Clint Dempsey played for the U.S. soccer team in the 90s. I mean, Charlie Dempsey should just be a fucking Regal, but whatever. Charlie Dempsey slides in. He hits a dragon screw to pop Kyle through the rung of the ladder onto A-Kid, who was climbing it, trapping him now in the ladder upside down from the dragon screw. His leg is now sideways with the side of his ankle caught on the opposite rung across the ladder, so he's literally being straddled with his leg dangling straight across as this is going on. And Dempsey just looks at it and he goes, "Sorry, bro," and he hits a huge knee lift on the knee of A-Kid that's being extended across that ladder, almost bending his knee backwards. A-Kid is now in definite anger as he's gone. And now we just start getting spot fests. Siobhan Evans hits a springboard cutter off the top of a ladder bridge to the floor that was built. Nathan Frazier runs up a leading ladder like Shelton Benjamin used to do to hit a sunset powerbomb on Akira Tozawa, sending him into the turnbuckle in the corner. Elton Prince then picks up Nathan Frazier into a military press and throws him over the top rope through a table, and then does the Kilt Wilson muscle pose, even though he's not Kilt Wilson. They Pretty Deadly now together set up a ladder bridge on the outside. They pick up Nathan Frazier and hit spilled milk onto that ladder, and now they're both doing it, thinking they just won an Oscar or something, going crazy here. Noam Dar now picks up a chair, and he begins to hold it next to the side of his head like he's holding a paintball gun, and he throws this bitch and hits Akira Tozawa in the side of the head like a sniper rifle bullet, just whipping that shit in him. He then picks it back up and he smokes Siobhan Evans' knee. A-Kid charges over. He gets hit in the ribs. Tavion Heights is trying to get back in. He smokes him in the back with the chair, throws it down, and he starts laughing, doing his own version of the Kit Wilson pose. Noam Dar now kisses his wrist and goes, "Alicia folks," as he starts climbing the ladder. But Akira Tozawa, who was pissed that he got sniper rifle thrown by that chair, does the same thing, and he goes, "Yoshinobu Yamamoto," and he fastball pitches the chair into the knee of Noam Dar, knocking him off the ladder, and he's in agony on the ground now from it. Akira Tozawa now elevates a huge ladder in the ring. The crowd is on their feet as he starts climbing. As he's making his way up, he looks to his side, and he now sees that Kit Wilson, in the midst of all this, has been put on a table, but nobody's around him. He's just sitting there. So Tozawa says, fuck it, and does a senton off of the ladder through the table on the floor, killing Kit Wilson almost. The arena's going batshit after this point.
Kit Wilson.
Charlie Dempsey now starts wrestling like he's not even in this match. He's got Javon Evans in a ladder-assisted STF. A-Kid now back in the ring, who's still struggling from that leg attack that happened to him earlier. A-Kid is now being put in an ankle lock through the side of the rung by Dempsey, who still has the STF on Evans. Only to have Elton Prince come in with a chair and break it up by smoking Dempsey in the back of his head with the chair. We now get more crazy spots. I'm trying. My God, this is hard to do on the fly, remembering where all these people are. I apologize if anything isn't making sense. A-Kid now starts climbing, trying to get close. He's almost getting to there. Every time he starts getting up, he gets cut off. He gets like the fourth rung, gets cut off by somebody. He starts fighting back. Reclimbs, gets to the fifth rung, gets cut off again. He cuts off, stops again. Now he's one rung away from the top rung, but he gets cut off again. Oh my God, A-Kid just can't get it done. Finally, Javon Evans runs up the other side, and he kicks A-Kid in the face, knocking him off. Charlie Dempsey, though, runs up behind him and starts reaching through the rung, trying to grab Javon Evans' pants to pull him closer, and he's trying to tie him to the rung of the ladder. Evans, smart enough to this, hits a right hand, punches Dempsey in the face, kicks him off, and then hits a 450 splash off the ladder to Charlie Dempsey. Both members of Pretty Deadly now are outside the ring as this is going on, as Nathan Frazier comes in and hits one of his crazy feeding splashes onto the floor from the top rope onto Pretty Deadly. We now see Tavion Heights powerbombing Noam Dar on the floor. And Akira Tozawa now, who sees Javon Evans still trying to get back up from that 450. Tozawa hits a Huracan Rana, which sends Javon Evans as a shit can over the top rope onto this bridging ladder that had been built, I said earlier, by, I believe it was Pretty Deadly. And Tozawa is just laying there now in agony. And now we see everybody down except A-Kid. A-Kid's crawling in the ring. The crowd's chanting for him. He starts climbing. We saw him get to the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth rung. He's making it up. Frazier sprints to the ring now. Javon Evans gets in there. Dempsey's back in. Pretty Deadly come in. Everybody's in here climbing. There's 9 men fighting on the ladder. There's a second ladder brought over, and then a third ladder as they're trying to get this all situated. Punches, headbutts, you name it. A-Kid gets knocked down halfway through the ladder, but he springboards off the ropes and he lands back on the ladder and drop kicks Frazier and Javon Evans off the top of theirs. The ladder begins to wobble, but A-Kid steadies it. And as he's getting ready to reach, here comes Charlie Dempsey again in his desperation submissions. He grabs A-Kid's ankle, and he begins to twist. A-Kid, though, kicks him off, begins to climb. He reaches, and A-Kid unhooks the belt and becomes your world heavyweight junior champion.
Whoa.
Sits on the top of the ladder. He's hugging the title. He's crying. The crowd's excited. Everyone's going crazy after everything that's gone on with him losing that multi-man match back at War Games in July at Great American Bash. Him being the one unmasked. Losing his shot at getting the title. And here comes this partner in Fraxium, Nathan Frazier, up the other side of the ladder. A-Kid, who's still up there, is ready to, starting to tense a little bit. And Frazier looks at A-Kid and he goes, hell yeah, man, I'm glad if it wasn't me, it was you. The two embrace on the ladder as A-Kid, ladies and gentlemen, is your new junior heavyweight champion.
Hell yeah.
That was fun.
That was a good match.
Thank you, sir.
Even though he almost destroyed his knee, I didn't think he was going to win.
Yeah, and once again, I apologize if I had people doing weird shit. I was just kind of on the fly, so we're doing the best we can. But damn it, A-Kid getting that victory. And we're making ladder matches fun again, y'all. And Kyle, I'm so thankful of those words you said. You got the next match on night 2 of WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, man.
So this one is a 4-way ladder match for the tag team titles.
Hell yeah, we're just keeping those ladders out there. We don't even need to bring them back. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Fuck cleaning. We don't get an Arby's commercial here. It's just the next man up.
Yeah, because
more ladders, damn it.
I mean, I had another match that I was going to put here, but I said, forget it. Might as well just keep the crowd going. But the Usos out the mud, Miz and Sheamus and Loomis and Howdy. However, there's an instant replay of Uncle Howdy getting his face clotheslined. They said that they'll be back with more information, and it is confirmed that Uncle Howdy has a dislocated jaw and a broken nose from one called Manders showing up and beating the shit out of him and breaking his rocking chair. So Howdy's replaced with Redbeard, Eric Rowan.
Next man up.
Yep. So there's the 4-way there. Match highlights. Usos hit a splash off the ladder through a table onto Redbeard. Sheamus does a bro kick through the hole of a ladder into Dexter Loomis's face, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know, like they just timed it perfectly. Miz pushes Price. I can't say his first name, but pushes Price off the ladder and sending him a Lucian. Thank you. Sends him on to everybody. They actually catch him this time. For the finish, however, Out the Mud together climbs the tag titles and grabs the championship, letting them retain at WrestleMania in the 4-way ladder match.
Hey. On their weak stuff. And once again, the finish one more time.
Out the Mud together climbing the ladder and grabbing the titles.
You see what he did there? He had the tag team climbing together, and they both got him. Weird. Continuity, y'all.
That don't make no sense.
Did I do something wrong?
No, it's just continuity. Hey, it's a tag match with 2 ladders or 2 belts. Let's have 2 people climb. Weird. like instead of one guy goes here, man, and he throws it on the ground for the other guy. Like, it's stupid. Nate, you're up with our next contest, sir.
Oh my god. Let me put my readers back on my face. As in my real glasses, because I don't have reading glasses.
So that's dangerous if you're not wearing your glasses.
Yeah, because the last time I crushed them underneath my couch and had to get new ones.
Stupid.
It says, okay, so my next match is Randy Orton taking on Miles Bourne. This match has been building for a while. It says the student versus the teacher as Randy Orton takes on his protege, Miles Bourne. The two have a massive respect for one another as Randy took Miles under his wing and seemed to really have taken a liking to the kid as he was showing him the ropes throughout the previous year. Randy starts the match off slow-paced and methodical because he's Randy Orton, and he does that. He does that at the start to try to wear the youngster down. The two are on the mat as Randy has a front face lock applied and is grinding Miles into the mat. Miles manages to work his way back up to his feet and get out of the hold and begin his own array of offense as the pacing of the match picks up tremendously. Miles Bourne comes into his own and looks very confident in all the moves he is hitting. His timing is impeccable. Even Randy looks impressed at the kid. Eventually, Randy gets the upper hand once again and says enough is enough as he delivers an emphatic RKO. However, Miles kicks out at the last possible second. The crowd is stunned, and Randy is completely shocked and beside himself. Randy picks Miles up, but Miles slips behind him and quickly hits him with a Born Again to get the pinfall. To the utter dismay of the fans, Miles just beat his protege and he celebrates his victory, but somehow himself, he can't even believe what he just accomplished and what just happened.
Hey, Miles Bourne with the W. We like to see that. We like to see that. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
We are slowly approaching the halfway point, but we are going to move to the midweek mayhem as Zeke is up next, sir.
All right, this is my second match, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just had to reorder a little bit earlier, so
you're
making
good.
sure. All right, so New Day heads to the ring with Big E and R-Truth. They get to the ring, cut a promo. We didn't get an opponent, so we're issuing it an open challenge.
Yeah, man.
Finish saying, music cuts in for Big Meat.
Yeah, baby.
Big E and R-Truth start cramming bootios into Kingston and Wood's mouth. Brock and Gunther charge in.
Yeah.
Big E and R-Truth bail out. Kingston and Woods get hit with devastating clotheslines. Bell rings. Gunther shake hands Woods. Steps out of the ring. Brock picks up Kingston, hits him with an F5 pin and the win. And we have new tag team champions.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
We got Big Meat back and their champs. Belt them up.
Look, he just popped you, Kyle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, I threw my arm out and started crying like CM Punk came back.
That one guy, Alex.
Yeah. It's Big Meat.
Touched him. I love it. I love how we get the Big Meat reunion smoking people.
Yeah.
Got to do it every once in a while.
Hell yeah.
As Gunther's a 2-belt champ. That's what's up.
That's a buffet line. Coming up next, we have Friday Night Disaster as we have the loser leaves town match. The loser is fired. Finn Balor taking on Jordan Devlin, who he turned on after they lost their titles to Dunn and Bate at the Rumble. This match has been going on for a while. the Irish Ace, Jordan Devlin, who was trained by Finn Balor, wants nothing more than to get the redemption. It's bitter. It's personal. Devlin immediately starts targeting Finn Balor's ribs, trying to shut down the core of Balor because it'll stop half of his offense. Finn, though, fires back with a lot of vicious, desperate kicks as he continues to try to keep space between him and Devlin while still being able to maintain his offense with his striking. And they continue to counter one another like exactly how you'd expect it with the student and the teacher. You know, we're 10, 15 minutes into this, and neither guy is able to really get anything going. Finally, Finn Balor gets the upper hand, and he goes up for the coup de grace. Crowd's on their feet. Devlin, though, pops up, springs into the corner, kicks Finn Balor's leg out, causing him to crash to the mat. And he hits him with the Devlin impact and then a Devlin slide. And out of nowhere, just like that, Jordan Devlin, 1, 2, 3, defeats Balor. Devlin's not celebrating. The crowd is going nuts as Finn Balor now must leave the company.
Oh, shit.
Devlin kneels right next to Finn, staring at him with a mix of satisfaction, but with a little regret because that's his trainer. But he looks at Finn and he says, "You should have never singled me out." As Balor is just up in arms, livid, security is exiting through the building as he is being removed. And in true Vince McMahon fashion for this company, the crowd's doing the na-na song. Na-na! Do the na-na hey hey. As they are chanting that at Finn Balor. As he said, "This isn't the last of me you've seen of me, Devlin." It's Jordan Devlin. Sends Balor packing.
No.
Coming up next, Kyle. Your second to last match for the shotgun.
He's going to have, like, the best AEW run, though, when he goes over. Speaking of, this one's a television championship match between Tommaso Ciampa and Braun Breaker. Crazy stiff match. Breaker hits a spear. Ciampa kicks out. Ciampa counters a second spear. It's a fairy tale ending to retain the title as everybody was coming back from concession stands. Whoa, hello?
I don't think anybody was expecting that quick of a match.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Sorry.
Hey, I guess good point.
Bathroom break on that one, and it was over before he could get to the urinal.
Yeah, good point. I mean, I didn't really know like what to do other than have Ciampa retain. Guess I could have drug it out longer, but it was just back and forth. Basically, Ciampa was just too smart for Braun Breaker, and that's why he countered that second spear, and then hit him with the fairy tale ending to, keep his title.
Hell yeah.
I should have had Braun Breaker go over, being that Ciampa's not part of the company no more, but
Look, who cares?
Oh, damn it.
Tommaso Ciampa's checking Braun Breaker out like you're checking in movies. It is what it is. See you, Braun. I know what that clicking is. I've been there. You know what? It is what it is. Sorry, Braun. It wasn't your day. Maybe next year, bro.
Yeah.
As we come in here, we have on the back end here of our matches, and we are going to go to Zeke with the midweek.
All right. We got the double duty death match here. We got Deathmatch Dawkins versus The Miz versus Nia Jax versus Santos Escobar.
Now, real quick, to try to hype this a little better than that was done. Deathmatch Dawkins murdered Akira Tozawa at Elimination Chamber, headbutting him with double headbands full of barbed wire, steel chair shots against ring steps, and drivers to head that would make anybody cringe. And Deathmatch Dawkins said, I challenge anybody and everybody on any brand that wants to fucking fight me. And he got Santos Escobar from Malarkey, Nia Jax from Fridays, who just got done saying, if this is all the violence you've had, you haven't seen shit yet. And then the Miz from Saturdays. We don't know how Santos and Miz got involved. But all we know is they're involved. We have a 4-match. And this is for the...
Miz had that deathmatch style one in the chamber as well.
Yep, with the weapons. And this is for the brand specific deathmatch title too. Don't forget that.
Yep. Yeah, not yep.
With that being said though, yeah, Zeke, take it away. I not to jump in, but this deserves to be put over a little bit more. This is a big fucking deal match right here, brother.
Yeah.
Give it some of that nutsack behind it.
All right. Yeah, jumping into the middle of the match here. Everyone's bruised, battered, weapons scattered everywhere. Santos sets up a table in the corner and goes to whip the Miz into the corner. The Miz counter sends Escobar into the table. Miz celebrates the destruction when Nia Jax enters. Levels him quick with a steel chair.
Hell yeah.
Dawkins slides in next, dodges the chair shots, and counters with the trash can lid. Jax no-sells it, so he hits her again and again until the lid is bent beyond use. Jax then grabs Dawkins by the throat, drags him to the corner, hits him with a hard slap, dropping him in the corner. Jax climbs the second rope, goes for a bonsai drops, misses his chest and lands on his head. Dawkins, with his barbed wire tied into his headbands again, screams in pain as blood starts flowing and pouring down his face. Jax also screams as she now has a few extra holes in her ass.
My hole! I love it!
Dawkins rolls out of the ring. And and the Miz backs up from the chair shot, sees an opportunity for revenge, takes a bundle of light tubes to Jax, goes for the pin when Escobar breaks up the pin wielding a 2x4, goes for a second hit, and the Miz rolls out and hits Jax in the leg. Dawkins comes back, one headband gone, bat in hand, catches Escobar. He crumples. Miz charges back in. Dawkins notices him in the nick of time and uses Miz's momentum to fling him over the top rope. He then shit cans the lifeless Escobar onto the Miz, leaving Dawkins with Jax. Jax still lying face down in pain. Dawkins lifts her bad knee and stomps it onto the mat.
Cool.
He then deadlifts Jax and hits her with a cash out, a spine buster. He goes for the pin. Miz goes to break it up, but the concussed Escobar grabs him by the ankle, preventing him from breaking up the 3 count. And Dawkins retains his title.
Yeah. Hell yeah. It's a motherfucking deathmatch, baby. Deathmatch Dawkins coming in the brand exclusive 4-way. Great match. Waiting for that. That was one of the top matches billed on this show, if you will, in my opinion.
Triple H, when you listen to this, because we know you're going to, don't steal Zeke from us, because that was a fantastic idea.
Look, if at roadblock end of the line we get Dawkins, Miz, Nia, and Escobar, I might off myself.
Yep.
Like, wait a minute, that really happened? Oh no, he's stealing our. I'm done.
Oh, that was a good idea, Zeke. We want to hire you.
So, you want to come?
I sound like the Undertaker. But I'm really Triple H.
So, in the midst of all this, guys, by the way, we now see Tamatanga, Tongaloa, Talatonga, AJ Styles, the Creeds, Gable, and Bartel coming back to the arena from the fight earlier. As the arena warfare match is still going on.
Courtesy of WrestleMania 12.
They all finally get in the ring. And we see Marcel Bartel with a pile driver in the center of the ring defeat AJ Styles as Bartel, Gable, and the Creeds win the arena warfare match that has been going on for about 26 hours right now.
That's
Bullet
insane.
Club officially goes 0-3, and they have decided they are out of here. They said, we're done with this. You guys, this is your company. We don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
As Dunn and Bate come out, and we see Dunn, Bate, Bartel, the Creeds, and Gable, all six raising their arms, celebrating as they unified together to shut down the threat that was the Bullet Club. To which the Creeds and Chad Gable attack Bartel, Bate, and Dunn and say, just because we were friends for 6 months doesn't mean we still hate your asses. And they start beating the shit out of them as security comes and separates it, as that feud still isn't over from earlier, damn it. They only played nice for a couple months. Now, as this is all happening and all this craze, Ricky Saint now begins to make his way down the ring, and Paul Heyman is going, what are you doing? We have Roman later. And Ricky Saint is like, I don't give a shit. I'm here to prove that last night was a fluke with Obafemi. Get the hell out of here, Heyman. Heyman is distraught because he knows that he needs Ricky Saint for that Carmelo Hayes Roman Reigns match later tonight. But Saint is so embarrassed of the beating he took yesterday from Oba and being scared by one called Manders that he is back in the ring here. Ricky Saint now has the microphone on his heat, and he is demanding an opponent. He said, I may have lost the title, and I know everybody's been booked in this show, but I demand competition. I want anybody to bring their ass to this ring right now. And if you remember, Kyle earlier tonight, or yesterday on night one, had a special run-in with a man who wasn't part of this company who came in and murdered Uncle Howdy. We're about to get the second part of that. As from the back comes DDT's own Dan Shoko Dino.
Hell yeah.
And Ricky Saint is horrified as he has no idea what to do as Dino begins to make his way to the ring. And Ricky Saint is in panic mode. Paul Heyman said, you're on your own, kid, as he wants nothing to do with Dan Shoko Dino. The bell rings, the two tie up. Dan Shoko Dino gets him into an armbar, puts him into a hammerlock. Ricky Saint begins to kind of wiggle his fingers, trying to get some feeling in his arm in the hammerlock. Dino's going to take an opportunity and use that to his advantage as he takes Ricky Saint's hand and puts it in his trunks. So Ricky Saint is now doing that in Dino's pants. Ricky Saint freaks out knowing what he's touching, and Dino just starts waving his crotch at Ricky Saint as Saint has no idea what he's going to do to Dino. We get more and more slapstick kind of comedy. Dino grabs Saint, takes Ricky Saint's hand and puts it in his pants and makes him grabs his crank and hits a rock bottom, only screaming cock bottom at the top of his lungs. He then takes his pants off and pulls them down to his feet and begins to teabag Dino's face over and over, doing the Dan Shoko nightmare. Ricky Saint has never seen anything like this and does not know what to do. Ricky Saint charges and throws a big Yakuza kick, but Dino ducks and hits a low blow. And then after the low blow, instead of doing the Paul Heyman, he then opens his hand and just starts rubbing Ricky Saint's penis over and over again. Ricky Saint is freaking out about this and runs away, stumbles forward, and he eats a shining dick or a shining hump, which is a shining wizard with the crotch. In terms of Nakamura, he used to call it the homo ye instead of the booma ye. He then puts him in the Gato clutch. Not Gato, but Gato. And adding extra theatrics as Saint is losing his mind of what to do. He finally gets in the ring. Saint throws another clothesline. Dan Shoko Dino ducks. Hits the Shiranui Gay, which is a kiss, and then the Shiranui. Goes upstairs for the Dan Shoko Tornado, followed by a diving 69. And then he picks up Ricky Saint, puts his head in his pants, and hits the Dan Shoko driver, which is a head in the crotch tombstone.
Oh.
He then puts his balls all over Ricky Saint's face and begins to hump his head as the ref counts 1, 2, 3. And Dan Shoko Dino has just defeated Ricky Saint.
He
Just have
did.
to retire after losing like that.
Everybody in the TKO office has no idea what to do that Dan Shoko Dino is just on their television. Dino then goes to the back and he grabs Danhausen and brings him into a broom closet, and we never see the two of them for the rest of the night.
Good.
We now go to Nate, who's got to follow up Dan Shoko Dino fondling Ricky Saint with his next contest.
Well, what a better way to do that than with a women's match.
By the way,
Yeah.
Nate gave me Dino last night, and I laughed so hard, going, holy shit, I never thought somebody would give me Dan Shoko Dino.
I had to. He was the first name that came to mind. I'm like, I gotta do this.
Oh yeah, the minute you did that, I went,
it's
well,
gonna be hilarious.
obviously Ricky Saint's the guy that's going to get fondled. There's no other way around it.
I love it.
So thank you for that, Nate.
He was part of Pheromone.
In real
wasn't he?
life, he would hate
Yeah.
all of that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ooh, wee. That pheromone
Yeah.
shit was tight, man.
That shit was crazy. Especially when they wrestled Effie and not Effie.
I still love when Dan Shoko Dino's in there with a girl and her breasts go against his head and he's all disgusted and he's like puking. He's like Dino. If anybody hasn't watched it, man, from last year, watch Dino Tanahashi. It's incredible.
It's fantastic.
When Tanahashi takes his pants off and has Dan Shoko Dino's trunks as his thong, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. But I digress. I apologize. Nate, what do you got on your next match?
Okay, so we have the for the women's championship.
Women's.
Women.
We have Sol Ruka challenging Charlotte Flair. This match has been building for a while since SummerSlam. It says Sol Ruka makes her entrance at her first ever WrestleMania, and she's in one of the event's marquee matches. As she
Does her
won this
theme
year's,
song go?
she's not part of the Shield. That's what it sounded like, the intro you gave me. She won this year's women's Royal Rumble match and has earned the opportunity to challenge Charlotte Flair for the Women's World Championship. These two are no strangers to one another as they have met before. The last time they met was at SummerSlam, where Charlotte defeated Sol to take the women's title from her. Now the roles are reversed, and Soul finds herself in the match as the challenger. Says both women have extravagant entrances as only WrestleMania can provide. As on one of the night's anticipated matches in Monday Night Malarkey history is upon us, or one of the most anticipated matches, if I can read, in Monday Night Malarkey history is upon us. The match begins, and the two don't hold anything back. They wrestle back and forth to create one hell of a match that people will remember for a long time to come. Flair hits a bunch of chops to the chest of Soul, to the woos of the fans. Soul has some amazing offense of her own, as her gymnastics background really is on display tonight. Soul knows how important this spot is for her, and she's not looking to blow it. In fact, she hits every big spot that she has throughout the match. Charlotte comes back with a few of her own, but Soul is the one who is on the showcase on this night. Charlotte locks in the figure 8, and Soul manages to hang on through the pain and make it to the ropes to force the referee to have Charlotte break the hold. Charlotte holds onto it and doesn't let go until she has to, in order to inflict as much damage as she can to the legs of Soul to prevent her from hitting the Soul Snatcher later on. The match goes on, and Charlotte presses the advantage and talks trash to the crowd throughout. "This is your new hero," she says. What a joke. Soul doesn't take too kindly to the trash talking and comes back with some fire in her. She manages to hit the Soul Snatcher late in the match, but Charlotte kicks out to the shock of the audience. Soul doesn't seem thrown off. She goes for the on the offensive again and hits a few more setup moves, one including a spectacular moonsault from the top rope. Eat your heart out, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte kicks out and gets up in a daze as she's absolutely exhausted and looks like a Mortal Kombat character is about to get a fatality. As Soul springs off the ropes and hits another Soul Snatcher, this time to pin Charlotte Flair and win the women's world title for the second time in her career.
Hey.
Soul raises the title high above her head as fireworks go off inside the arena as she celebrates her win. Eventually, she dives into the crowd and they body surf her all around the arena as her theme song plays long enough in the background. It's a hell of a visual to... It's one hell of a visual.
Hell yeah. Big payoff for Soul Ruka. That's what we're waiting for. Glad it happened.
And that was the one story that I was trying to tell from the start of this to the end of it, and I'm glad I was able to do so.
Yeah, you
So,
know
yeah.
that shit. That was
There
nice.
you go. The only thing I didn't like about it was the fact that they had wrestled before, but given that they did, they had a history, so it made sense.
All right, we have our final 4 matches, and we're going to start that off going with Zeke in the midweek.
All right, all right. Sorry, I just saw your message. All right, so we got my Hidden Door match coming up here. We got the special entrant of T-Hawk,
Oh, shit.
and we have him against Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title.
Oh, T-Hawk better beat
shit.
the shit out of fucking Drew McIntyre's bitch ass. Come on, T-Hawk.
It's been a brutal match. T-Hawk's blistering chops versus the raw power of McIntyre. The crowd starts out behind Drew, unsure of T-Hawk as the outsider, but as T-Hawk has been able to stand blow to blow with McIntyre, the crowd's starting to get behind T-Hawk. In the final stretch, Drew hits T-Hawk with a backbreaker. Drew goes up for a Claymore, lines up for a Claymore, yelling for T-Hawk to stand up. T-Hawk stands, holding back in obvious pain. As Drew charges in, T-Hawk sidesteps at the last second.
Yeah.
Drew hits the corner hard. T-Hawk follows up with a running knee to the back of the head. Dazed, McIntyre turns around, where he's met with a series of thunderous chops, dropping Drew to a knee. T-Hawk hits the ropes, going for a lariat when Drew counters with a glass low kiss, a headbutt, sending both men to the mat. Drew is able to stand first and sets T-Hawk up for a future shock DDT. T-Hawk blocks it. Drew tries again. T-Hawk counters with a hard knee, followed by another vicious chop, doubling Drew over, right in position for the Night Ride, a sit-down powerbomb. T-Hawk goes with a cocky pin, and Drew is able to kick out at 2.
Bullshit.
T-Hawk, without hesitation, picks Drew back up, hits him with another chop, and another Night Ride. This time he hooks the leg for the pin and the win.
Yeah,
and a new Intercontinental Champion. After the match, we hear Big Meat's music come out.
Oh,
shit.
Trish,
Shit.
Lyons, Gunther, and Lesnar. Trish working the mic. Congrats
Holy
on
hell.
the win, T-Hawk. Sorry, threw me off. Congrats on the win, T-Hawk, on your first show here. Sorry your title reign will be short-lived. We're collecting belts. As you can see, he shows the gold. And Brock's a little light over here, showing that he only has the tag
Oh,
title.
no.
If you have a title, you're on the list. Then cues Dawkins' music. Big Meat retreats. Dawkins, limping and bloody, comes out with the mic. Where'd they all go? Shrugs his shoulders, lifts his belt, and walks back out.
Oh! Deathmatch saving
Nobody
T-Hawk.
Nobody wants that Dawkins smoke.
Yo, we're about to get Deathmatch Dawkins and T-Hawk versus Big Meat. We need this to go another month now.
Yeah, this shit's crazy.
T-Hawk and Dawkins against Big Meat? I thought Big Meat was going to ask T-Hawk to join the group.
No.
Man, T-Hawk is so fucking cool. I'll say that. God damn. All right, we got 3 matches left on night 2. Kyle, what's your final match for Shotgun?
The women's World Heavyweight Championship between Bailey and Stephanie Vicky.
Hit me key, guys.
Victoria dominates early with like power slams and hits the move that Booker T was about to risk it all, for. Bailey, however, consistently cheats throughout the match with eye rakes and runs her face across the ropes. Even puts her foot on the ropes on a pinfall attempt, but nothing seems to be working. Bailey locks in a submission, but Vakira powers out and hits a sidewalk slam, followed up with a running knee with a 2 count. Bailey once again rolls up Stephanie, puts her foot on the ropes, but the ref catches it. Bailey panics. Stephanie Vakira is up at this time. Bailey turns around and gets met with a spinning power bomb. 1, 2, 3. Stephanie Vakira hot shots. Gets the championship back from Bailey.
Hey, Stephanie Vakir
Vakira.
getting that dub skin.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh, she gonna do that butt attack. I made her relevant. We are going to move to our semi-main event of the evening as we go to Nate with the Malarkey. What's the semi-main of WrestleMania, Nate?
So in my Forbidden Door match,
Hell yeah.
we have Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Tetsuya Naito.
Whoa! Damn, Zeke coming in with a banger on that one.
It says,
Wow, that's awesome.
in a match that has never happened at Wrestle Kingdom, Shinsuke Nakamura and Tetsuya Naito meet for the first and only time inside of a WWE ring. These two are no strangers to one another, having traveled all over Japan, wrestling each other elsewhere. This, however, is a first time for both, as they are wrestling in America and on the grandest stage of WrestleMania. Match is very back and forth. Naito is showing off his skills, looking like his old self early on, as he hits a Stardust press for a near fall. Shinsuke is shocked and turns it up a few notches that he hasn't had to do. Or he hasn't had to be the Shinsuke Nakamura of old in a while. But this match definitely calls for it. Shinsuke responds by hitting a Bomaye knee to get a near fall on Naito, but Naito barely kicks out after getting his face kneed off. The match goes on for about 15 minutes or so. As the two continue to wrestle, Naito hits the Destino on Nakamura, but Nakamura kicks out at 2.99. Right at the last second. Naito hits another Stardust press, and this time picks up Naito for another Destino attempt, but he gets hit with another Bomaye knee. Naito rolls his shoulder up off the mat as the match is kicked into the third gear. Both on their feet, or back up to their feet, and Naito and Nakamura trade blows. The crowd is oohing and awing at what they are witnessing, and the announcers, for the first time probably in their lives, are silent, just watching the match because their subpar commentary skills can't keep up with what they are seeing, because they don't know what half of these moves that they are doing are even called.
Maybe cooked enter there, kick him off the table.
I love it too, because 2011, definitely before I know at least Nate, but before the other two of you watched New Japan, Nakamura beat Naito in the 2011 G1 final.
Yup.
2012 New Beginning show, which is always my favorite pay-per-view of the year. Naito got the win back. And then what's crazy, 2012 and 2013, Naito in the same block as Nakamura beat him both times.
Yeah.
So Naito 3-1 before this crazy show. And once again, you're finished, Nate.
It says eventually, as the match goes on, around the 25-minute mark, Tetsuya Naito picks up a grounded Nakamura as he hits the Destino, this time for the 1, 2, 3. The crowd is stunned, but they cheer in awe at the masterclass of a match that they just saw and witnessed before their very eyes and paid their hard-earned money to see. For an unadvertised match, this match more than delivered on the promise to give the fans not a moment, but a match to remember. This match will be remembered for years to come. The people in attendance at this show will one day tell their kids and their grandkids about it, as they were there and they got to witness history.
I love that our outside people also went 4-0.
Yeah.
On these shows too, which is pretty
Well,
cool.
okay, so, and I was going to say something, because it's like, I was almost going to have Naito lose this match. But you can't really bring somebody from the outside and have them lose.
Joe Hendry, the example for it all.
But he stinks, so he's the exception.
But we're not talking about their ability. We're talking about them in the role.
That's true.
So we did it the proper way, I think, is the right answer.
Yep.
You bring in the special attraction, they win. You don't have them lose.
Yeah.
We didn't see no dopey Claymore against T-Hawk.
Just killed the guy in one.
You know, we saw what Manders did to Howdy's gimmick. You know, Naito put down Nakamura. Dan Shoko, Dino committed sexual assault against Ricky Saint, but it's a match, so it doesn't matter. Outside talent wins.
He grabbed somebody's dick and twisted it.
Yeah, he put him in an arm or in a hammerlock and made him grab his dick. That's not cool. But Dino just uses what he needs to win.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah, look, you got to be ready for that. To be with that being said, it is the main event, WrestleMania Night 2. We're going to close WrestleMania off. We're closing it all off. The World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns defending against Carmelo Hayes. This is the Tribal Chief versus the future of the company. We see Mello in the back. Trick Williams kind of gives him a final nod of improvement. It doesn't come out with him, obviously, because Trick Williams is on the malarkey. Or, excuse me, on the malarkey, I was right. But Carmelo's ready for it. Carmelo Mouse, I'm him. As he comes through that smoke, his entrance is there. The lasers are everywhere. The music's playing. Carmelo Hayes makes his way to the ring, and he says, "There ain't no Ricky Saint tonight." As he laughs, going, "Shout out to Dino," and fist pumps the camera as Dino took away the distraction. Hayes makes his way to the ring. As the lights drop, we get that long, ominous Tribal Chief theme hitting. Roman makes his way out with Paul Heyman behind him. He's holding the title, pushes it in the air. Commentary team is putting this over. Roman gives the title to Heyman. He looks kind of annoyed that he's got to deal with somebody who's unproven and, in his opinion, who didn't win the Rumble and had to find another way to get into it. So, Roman, not a lot of respect for Carmelo Hayes. We get in the ring. The belt is presented. The bell rings. And the match starts with Roman charging and hitting a shoulder block to Carmelo Hayes, sending him flying over the top rope. Roman is laughing hysterically, talking to Heyman, like, "You want me to do that to this kid? All right, I'll be done in 5. He goes out of the ring. He shit cans him already outside the ring to the barricades. So that's something for Zeke to try to dissect what I just said. Carmelo Hayes starts trying to fire up. He's throwing some body shots as Roman's looking down, just laughing at him, and as he smokes him back with a right hand. Paul Heyman's yelling that he's not ready, my Tribal Chief, and all sorts of weird shit that Heyman would do. Roman then ducks a lariat and hits a German suplex on the floor, picking up Carmelo Hayes back up, and he puts him on the ring apron, and he runs him across the ring apron like you'd see in like an old 80s movie in a bar, knocking the cups off and everything like that. But he continues to run him until he runs him right into the ring post. Carmelo Hayes is dazed by all means. Roman shoves him underneath that turnbuckle. He makes a sprinter on the ring and hits that jumping drive-by drop kick to his head. Stands up and said, "Nobody's beating Roman Reigns." Everyone's booing. Carmelo Hayes is just distraught. At this point now, Carmelo Hayes starts to kind of come back here a little bit. He starts getting into a little bit of his rhythm. He hits a springboard clothesline. He hits the fadeaway out of nowhere, gets an air fall, hits a nice super kick, slowing Roman down. The crowd's starting to get behind Mello. They think he can win. They're like, all right, he's got a chant. Roman, though, rolls out of the ring. He's furious, and he's trying to stop this momentum. Heyman's panicking right now. Roman takes the announcer's table, picks up that piece on the very top it, and just throws that bitch down, going, "He's not on my level." But everybody knows he's pissed and he's rattled. He doesn't know what to do. Roman now kind of gets his embrace. He goes in the ring. Carmelo Hayes charges him, and he catches him in his patented guillotine choke out of nowhere and starts slowing the match down. Roman's choking him with that guillotine. Carmelo Hayes gets to the ropes, but his head is still down. Roman stands up while still holding the head in a guillotine, but he's got more of a front chancery at this point, and he puts his head between his legs. He picks him up, and he hits a power bomb into the buckle a la Seth Rollins, and then charges in and starts hitting repeated clotheslines over and over on Carmelo Hayes. Hayes rolls out of the corner to the center of the ring, and Roman charges with a spear, but Melo dodges it just by the inches. As Melo begins to stand up from dodging that spear, we see Roman cock that wrist back, comes in and wham, Superman punch, gets a 1, gets a 2, 2.9, Melo kicks out. Roman now is shifted from confidence to disbelief, going, okay, what the hell? The crowd is rallying hard here again. Melo starts to fight back, and out of nowhere, he hits a tornado DDT. 1, 2, 2.9. He doesn't get the win.
Shit.
He comes back and hits a second springboard lariat. He looks in the corner, and he sees Roman laying there. He goes, fuck it, and he does a BME a la Jacob Fatu, landing a double moonsault onto him. As he rolls off, Roman starts crawling to the corner. Carmelo Hayes charges and does the solo Sokoa hip attack in the turnbuckle. Pulls him out, and for the Usos, he hits a super kick. Goes for a cover, hitting all of the Samoans' moves onto Roman. 1, 2, 2.9 again, he kicks out. Roman now ducks another kick, goes for a spear, but Melo misses. And Roman necks the rope. Melo now goes to the top rope for the nothing but net, which is that leg drop off the top to win. But Roman quickly rolls out of the ring at the very last second. Melo then collapses in frustration back down the rope as he is just starting to feel all the beating he's had, and the momentum is gone and the adrenaline is left. We hear Michael Cole going, that was Carmelo Hayes' moment, and Roman stole it by leaving the ring. That sounds about right that he would say.
I think something goofier, but continue.
Roman now is grabbing Paul Heyman's the lapel on his suit, going, I don't know what's going on with this guy. And Carmelo says, fuck it. And he goes and dives off the top rope to the floor, hitting a second nothing but net on the back of his head and on Heyman with the double leg drop, taking them both out. He throws Roman back in the ring. The crowd's going crazy. And he gets to the top rope and he jumps off for a second one, and spear out of nowhere from Roman.
Oh.
He doesn't go for the cover, though. He wants to end this. And he grabs Carmelo again in a second guillotine. Melo begins to fight out of it. He starts clawing across the canvas. He's not tapping. He's starting to slowly fade, and the ref grabs his arm 1. The ref grabs his arm 2. And at 3, he doesn't fall. Instead, he breaks it. He grabs the hip of Roman, pulls his head out, and a jackknife pin cover. 1, 2, 2.99. Roman kicks out again. Roman is stunned. Paul Heyman is screaming. The crowd is losing their mind. Roman hits a second spear. He picks him back up, hits the rope, hits a third spear. 1, 2, 2.9. Hayes is up again. Roman cannot believe it. Roman charges for a 4th spear. Hayes moves. He spears the turnbuckle. He stumbles back. Hayes goes to the top rope, hits another nothing but net leg drop to the back of the head. 1, 2, 2.9, Roman kicks out again. Hayes does not know what to do. The crowd's going, one more time, one more time, one more time. Hayes goes to the top, and as he jumps for another nothing but net, Roman gets to his feet and spears him midair again. 1, 2, 3. No. Roman Reigns defeats Carmelo Hayes and retains the title.
No.
Everyone was disappointed.
Hayes puts in all the work.
The crowd goes mild.
But the tribal chief just wouldn't be put down whatsoever.
You son of a bitch.
Roman now.
Sleigh bells are playing through the arena.
Roman now is holding that title. And Paul Heyman comes in the ring and he pushes Heyman aside. Roman stands over Mello, but he gives him kind of a small nod, the kind that he gave Cody and Drew. Heyman has no idea what's going on. Mello's slowly getting to his feet as Roman begins to leave. Roman turns and looks at the ring and he looks at Carmelo Hayes and he says, "Not yet." And Mello mouths back at him and he says, "But soon." The seed is planted as we end WrestleMania.
What?
That's his theme song.
I thought you were going to start singing the Led Zeppelin song.
No.
Fiend, 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 fiend. That's what it would have been if this was Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your WrestleMania.
Oh, good shows.
I thought that was great, guys. I thought we did a good job with that.
Tremendous.
Everything happened. We had a lot of the highs. We had a lot of the lows. We had the upsets. We had the shock victories. We had the people coming in that didn't even belong in the company making a quote-unquote impact. I think we did a good job. I guess we could say as we call this. Let's just real quick, Zeke, final words from this whole everything we talked about beforehand when I asked everyone to say something to now completing WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean it was fun. It was a challenge at times, and as you go on, you start kind of losing angles and how you want things to play out, but definitely helped being able to bank off of crowd noise, so hearing feedback on, oh, there's a pop there, okay, we got to continue this. So without that, it would have been much harder, and that the involvement really made a difference.
I can definitely tell you. I was gonna go to the other guys after you, but when you mentioned the pop noise and everything, I can officially say that I'm glad I went the route of Carmelo not winning by the post-match comment noises that were made. So it definitely did its job having Roman win. I literally
trashing the ring.
I literally made that decision while we were on the air tonight too, because I still didn't have the victor.
Damn, way to go, Vince! You changed the script up.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look at Pop the crowd.
Yeah, I threw trash in the ring. Mm-hmm. It hit Lex Luger right in the midsection as he was laid out on his back.
I figured being the main event of WrestleMania, it's got to be memorable, and that's why I went with the Roman.
Carmelo Hayes would have been better.
I know if this was still going, he would definitely get his win back. I promise you that. No, the original plan was to have Carmelo Hayes win from day one. I just suddenly was like, you know what? No one's gonna see it coming. Let's just do it.
And nobody saw it coming. They booed.
I remember you messaging me early on in this whole thing and saying something about Carmelo Hayes, and you told me kind of
not what you were going to do, but I kind of got the gist of some of it. And I remember when we read the Royal Rumble, I was absolutely shocked that he did not win.
Yeah, when Ricky Starks won.
Yeah. Because I thought for sure when you messaged me, you were like planning on having him win the Rumble. And then I was like, it didn't happen. And then I'm like, well, how is he going to get Carmelo now to the main event of Mania? You know? Mm-hmm. But I knew it would get there. So, well done.
Then he couldn't get the job done. Kyle, final thoughts at all?
You all did great, and I am thankful that the idea was brought up and executed. So, it was awesome.
Hell yeah. Nate, final thoughts?
Well, first off, I'd like to apologize for any delays that I may have caused, because at the beginning of this, I was kind of like, I was excited about it at first, but then as we went on, I was like, ooh, I don't like have any idea what the hell I'm doing. So if I delayed anything, I apologize. By being lazy with my writing and like doing stuff last minute. But as things like progressed and we went month by month, like my vision seemed to come forward a little bit more. And then, you know, I figured it out as we were going. My one regret is there's certain people that I had on my roster that I really didn't do anything with. Because I wanted to focus on like so many things that I wanted to do, but there were other people that I did want to focus on that I didn't get to, you know, because my attention just all went to what I was doing versus all the side characters and whatnot. So, but overall, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was good. I think we nailed it. I think we had a pretty good run for everything we did. And look, I can comfortably tell you that if either of these WrestleMania nights were put on by the E in this faction or in this fashion, I think it would. I think it would get a pop. I think it would definitely get a pop.
Yeah, because the way everybody debuted was pretty cool too.
Yeah, it was fun, and the whole like Forbidden Door style Jack and match I thought worked really well too for everybody.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Problems kept the whole pay-per-view written, and then, oh hey, we talked about this. We should do that. Like, well, all right, we'll make it work.
Speaking of that, so I'll tell you what my original plans were. I had fucking Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Trick Williams in a throwaway nothing match in the middle of the show.
Oh, so much better with what you did.
And when Zeke sent me Naito, like the light bulb went off, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I wrote it I think it was last night or even today that I wrote it. Well, I'm like, as I'm writing it, this is so much better than what I had originally planned. Because that match, like I said, I don't know if it was going to be on day 1 or day 2, but it would have been like slotted in the middle somewhere, and it would have been like nothing that we would have talked about later.
Yeah, I do got to give Nate props for giving me Dan Shoko Dino as my.
Couldn't resist. I had to.
Because I'm not going to lie. I was like, what a better bait and switch way to get people to think Carmelo Hayes for sure is going to win when Ricky Saint can't come out and help Roman Reigns because he just had to get done wrestling Dan Shoko Dino. Like, it was perfect. Yep. You know, I can see Heyman going, why aren't you out there? And he's like, I just got jerked off in a wrestling match.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, like, it's so great.
I got to recover from what just happened to me.
Which was even more why I was like, you know what? I'm going to have Roman retain because it's clean. The guy who never wins clean is going to win clean just to piss people off. So I thought that was fun. Hell yeah, y'all. I thought that was really well worked. I'm glad we did it. That was our WWE rebuild. 1 full year. of trying to improve a company that owns the American market. Hopefully, if y'all listened, you enjoyed it. We did enough to sway you to believing what should happen, not what is happening. But with that being
You're soon
said,
coming soon.
keep your eyes open. We have more drafts coming, more episodes of WrestleCast, and you never know. There may be another rebuild around the corner. Have a good one, y'all.